Good morning, everyone that's going to join this. I'm at Chase Bank right now. They put a hold overnight on my money. Luckily, I am smarter than their corporation, fictitious dead corporation, and I moved all my money out. They put a hold on $131, so they can suck that right out of the gate. All right? I am very excited for this because I get to uphold law, and I get to teach and educate other human beings about law.
That was a really long-winded way to say that you're about to get yourself arrested. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we have a sovereign citizen, Karen, who goes to a Chase Bank to make a withdrawal, but leaves with a new set of handcuffs. So let's begin.
All right, let's get this audio going. I'm walking in right now. Oh, let's flip the camera around as well. All right, let's start audio. Good morning. I woke up this morning and this corporation put a hold on my money, theft under law.
They said theft under law?
It is theft under law. You took my money.
But did they though? Are you really telling us that while you were asleep, Chase Bank snuck into your house, rummaged through your crunchy sock drawer, just to steal your life savings of $131?
Yeah, well, you better get ready. They're going to learn too. I'm excited. I get to educate humans on the law. You're not interested. Oh, look at that. Take that as the record. You're not interested in law.
Are you recording?
I am recording and audio. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Lawful. Yeah, let's go. Under the Constitution of the United States of America, freedom of the press.
Oh yeah, sure, freedom of the press. Let's just have Fox News and CNN and all the other news agencies set up in the lobby of this bank to do their nightly show. Freedom of the press is something that protects you from government intervention, not from a private business telling you that you're not allowed to film on their private property.
This is the truth. You guys see all this? There's so many people on Facebook right now. You understand thousands of people follow me? They're all watching you right now. Good. I hope so. I'd like to talk to the head. Is this the head banker? No? Yes? Who are you on the phone with? The sheriff? You know you don't have to wear those masks. It's a mandate, which is not a law. You understand that? You're breathing in recycled air.
Somebody really ought to tell all those people who live and work on submarines that they're breathing in all that recycled air and it's dangerous for them. And who would have guessed that the man who doesn't know anything about law also doesn't know anything about medicine?
Look, hiding over there. She won't even show her face. Yes, it's called theft by law. Theft. Oh, look, you have a customer. How come you're not helping your customer? That's under your legal definitions, under your corporation job. I think that was the head banker. Was that the head banker? What are you doing back there?
Well, he's a financial advisor, not a banker, and he's doing a couple of things that you'll never understand, like complicated math and having a full-time job.
Is the sheriff on his way? Oh, that is the head banker, isn't it? Are you the head banker, sir?
You are trespassing. You need to leave.
Nope. Trespassing. Notice her words? Trespassing. Totally different than trespass. Trespassing, not law. Theft, law. Law. Oh, look, you're helping this customer? But not me. Help the sheep, but when the lion demands notice and remedy, there is no remedy to be found in the United States of America, is there? I'll take all the way to the Supreme Court if I have to. I know all the laws. You all will fail. You will lose.
I wonder if he thinks that the legal cost of taking a case like this to the Supreme Court is going to cost like $50. You're literally there complaining because they have a hold on $131. Something tells me this will never make it to the Supreme Court.
They stole my property.
Let's talk about it outside. We can talk
I
about
do
it.
not lawfully have to.
Well, here's the thing, okay? So this, even though it's a bank, right, it's still private property. So if somebody
Is
doesn't
this
want-
the United States of
Is
America,
this the
sir?
United States of America? Let me ask you this. Do you have a home that you live in?
I do.
Okay. If I showed up to your house and didn't want to leave, would that be wrong?
Okay, there's two definitions here, all right? And there's very big difference. I want you guys all to notice. This is a very big difference, and you're being recorded
That's fine.
on video and audio. Just letting you know. Putting it out there. All right, there's a very big difference between private and public. Okay?
See, this thing, it's still a private business.
This is a corporation, is it not? Which makes it public by law.
But it's still the
The
actual
Supreme
property-
Court will
the actual
uphold
property
everything I'm
is
telling you
private,
guys
and
right
if
now.
somebody doesn't want you here, you gotta go. Simple as that.
That is incorrect and unlawful.
No, he's correct, and it is lawful. If you're on private property, which you are, and they want you to leave, which they do, then you gotta go.
I'm speaking respectfully.
You are.
I have
appreciate
not
that. But you're
I have not committed a crime against any one man or woman. Do you understand that? Those are very important senses.
But now that the property manager is asking you to leave, and you're not leaving, okay? So
And
now-
I have not gotten remedy, have I? They took they theft. They have committed a crime.
Here's the thing.
They have committed a crime.
That will be a civil issue you can sort out.
A
at
civil
later date.
issue?
With the business, you can have a civil issue there, okay? But right now, you are being
Right
asked to
now-
leave. They don't want you here.
I do not lawfully have to leave.
No, actually, see, here's the thing, actually, you do. That's
What
the
law?
thing.
I'd like the law.
You're now trespassing. They
I
do
would
not
like-
want you here.
Trespassing is not a law. The word trespass is law. Do you guys understand that? You don't even know the laws.
Dude, how dumb are you? Trespassing is the present participle. It's the present participle of trespass, meaning that when you're trespassing, you are in.
Not a law. The word trespass is law. Do you guys understand that? You don't even know the laws.
Dude, how dumb are you? Trespassing is the present participle. It's the present participle of trespass, meaning that when you're trespassing, you are in the act of committing a trespass.
Is your supervisor on the way?
Okay, Karen.
Where's the sheriff?
The sheriff doesn't respond to this. This is actually, we're in Valparaiso.
The sheriff lawfully has to respond to this. I don't think you guys understand the
Well, here's the
Constitution.
thing. This is the city limits of Valparaiso. So city, we have jurisdiction. You're familiar with jurisdiction?
Jurisdiction, very right. Yes, indeed.
The sheriff.
Uh-huh.
county
What is
sheriff.
the jurisdiction of this land, the United States of America? You can
This
call
is
it
the-
whatever
yeah.
fictitious
Within
corporation
the United
names
States,
you
we're in the
want.
state of Indiana. In that state, we're in Porter County.
We're in the
And
United
county,
States.
We're in the city of Valparaiso. That's why the city of Valparaiso Police Department's here.
And
I'm with you, man. I'm trying to work with you here, but I think there's a little bit of confusion. I know you say you know stuff, but I'm just trying to straighten things out. The sheriff's not going to.
I've studied all this for hours and hours.
Oh, really? You're an expert in law because you've had hours and hours of online studying. But I'll have you know that in Indiana, to just become a basic lawyer, you have to have at least 2 years of law school. And something tells me that your hours and hours of research are not the equivalent of a 2-year law degree.
This is why I'm here, and this is why I'm happy to do this, because I now have a duty to explain, and I have a duty to educate you guys, because you guys are fellow man. This is why our country is this is why the world is why we're where we're at right now, because nobody knows this stuff. I do. I have a duty to explain this, elaborate, and educate fellow man. I, man. Small, lowercase I.
What are you, fucking owned by the Apple Corporation or something?
Oh man, I can't wait to read all these comments. Yes, all over $131. I know. Do you see this? You see what's going to happen? Did you notice what she said when I got here? She said, I don't care about the law. Do you notice that? That's paraphrasing. I don't know exactly the words that she stated. She says, I do not care about law. That's what she said.
Nah, that's not really what she said now, is it? What she told you was that she didn't care to learn your law because she has a job to do. Here, let's rewind the tape and watch it for ourselves.
I hope you're here to understand. You're not here to understand law? Is that what you just said? We're not here to understand law?
We're here to do our job. That's it.
Where's the sheriff or your supervisor? Okay, thank you.
Now
You're apologizing for law?
Hey, can you do me a favor? They want you out now. Okay, I'm waiting. For
I'm not going to do you a favor. I don't have to by law.
Okay, I'm just asking
As a man, thank you, but I will not. I respectfully refuse. And that is my right under law to do so. Notice the words that I'm using. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys, too. I appreciate you. You see this? You see what's going on? When facts and law are stated, they called the cops.
Karen, why are you lying again? When they told you to leave, you clearly told them that they had to call the cops. In fact, you even said please.
It's law. I don't have to. Call the sheriff, please. I would like the sheriff that upholds law. Thank you. You guys like this stuff? Let me get a fit check. I'm just wearing, oh look, someone, probably the government, corporation's calling me right now, trying to interrupt this stream. Not gonna happen. You guys wanna see what I'm wearing right now? I'm just wearing a coat and jeans.
I'm not gonna lie. You look as dumb as you sound. Let me hear you say, if you agree.
All right, so his title is?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant? Which means what? Above you guys?
Yep.
Boss?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, he's chief.
Okay. Chief of Valparaiso?
But he's lieutenant.
Well, hopefully he knows law. I doubt it, but we'll see. I have the United States Constitution, Bill of Rights, and Declaration of Independence in my pocket, if any of you need to see clearly stated as well.
So you have the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence on you. But what do you think the odds are that he has his customer agreement that he had to personally sign to open his account at Chase?
Thank you very much, sir. I respect that. Why am I not being talked to? We gotta whisper and do corporation legal bullshit. Notice I said legal. Legal is not law. Two different things. If it's not spelled the same, it is not the same thing. I'm sorry you don't want to uphold law. Sorry, you have to. Yeah, what did I do? What was the hold? I would like all this information relayed to me instead of the officers. Thank you. Duly noted and stated.
More like duly ignored and about to be arrested.
Bottom line is, Matthew, because
I'm listening.
We're trying to work with you, but we're
I'm trying to be
fair,
respectful,
okay?
but you're not understanding law.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm telling you about the law right now.
Let's
you
hear
know
the law.
certain things. I'm telling you the law is private businesses, whether it was a Chase Bank or if I'm at private property like your house and I'm not wanting to leave.
Two different
and you
things.
say, here's the thing. It's still private property. They don't want you here.
It's incorrect.
You're now being asked to leave.
It's unlawful.
Okay?
I demand notice on remedy of why they took my money.
That'll be a
Your
simple.
money is in the bank, it's not going anywhere, they're not taking your money, it's still there, it's still in the account.
There's a
No, it's gone. It says zero.
No, you can address this another day, today's not the day.
What do you
though.
mean?
Okay?
I'm not lawfully allowed to address this on any day that I choose.
No! You can't pick and choose the day you deal with your bullshit. I mean, banks aren't open 24/7, and they do have bank holidays.
You're now trespassed from here. You have the opportunity to leave.
Incorrect.
If you do not leave, you're going to force our hand to arrest you.
What crime have I committed? Did you guys hear that? What crime have I committed?
You may leave. Go. You're free to go.
I may, but I do not have to. Notice his words?
No, actually, you do have to leave.
Nope.
You're being trespassed.
What crime have I committed?
Right now, you're committing trespass. You've been told you cannot be at this business. You're
What
being trespassed.
crime have I committed? What crime?
Just told you 5 times.
What crime under law have I committed?
We got other people who are here trying to do
And they're
business,
doing their
okay?
thing. Am I impeding them at all?
Yes,
Nope.
you are. You're making it uncomfortable for people. You're being asked very politely. We've been very kind with you.
Uncomfortable.
explaining. The bottom line is, it's private property. You're disrupting the business. You gotta go. Simple as that.
Incorrect. Under law, I do not.
Under law, we have reached the moment that we have all been waiting for. Time to watch a jackass get arrested.
Let's go.
I would like to know why they took my money. That is a
There's a
crime.
hold on the account.
That is a crime that you guys have to lawfully uphold. Do you understand that? No, you don't. But we will educate. It's okay. That's why I'm here.
I'm gonna ask you again.
You can keep
Matthew,
asking all you want.
Will you please leave?
Nope.
Go ahead, put your home down, put your hands behind your back.
Am I under arrest?
Yes, you're under arrest.
For what?
Bye, have a great time.
Alright guys, that's the end of the video. The original video was over 35 minutes long, and I chopped it down to 12 minutes. And that was before I put in my interjections. So why don't you head over to Van Bellion's channel and watch the full channel and watch the Hey guys, I know I said I was going to take a couple of days off, but Karens be Karening 24/7. So let's begin.
No, you're discriminating against me. I need to breathe air. Yeah. No. This is
Already there. They're on their way.
okay. All right. You don't have no balls. You're a little bitch.
Hillbilly Karens are the best. Now don't get me wrong, I still love a pretentious Hollywood Hills Karen like Peggy Hall, but hillbilly Karens are a bit more genuine with their stupidity and aren't afraid to get loud to show it.
Because you have the law on your side to protect and not discriminate against people. And you do not have the law on your side to discriminate. No, I'm not breaking the law. I have the rights. Code 51. Yeah, this is America. It's America. Little no ball-hatted bitch. Oh, fuck you. No, get the fuck away from me. Get out of my face, bitch. Get the fuck out of my face and I'll eat.
This is a popular move among the hillbilly Karens, the get out of my face and then I'll leave super combo. In fact, this move is so popular among the hillbilly Karen population that you'll see them executed at almost every major family function, including Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners, weddings, whether they're invited or not, and funerals. Anytime you get a group of hillbilly Karens together, it's guaranteed that you're going to see fake Louis Vuitton purses and mashed potatoes flying through the air.
Okay. You know what I love? I love you to grow some balls and fucking stand up for people. Stand up for the Americans. Yeah.
Hey, Law by Mike. I watch that channel. He's got a lot of funny shorts on there. Not to be confused with Law Talk by Mike, which is another channel that I watch, and you guys should go check out both of them as well. Now our next video comes from a Karen who has a freak out over a man who lowered his mask to eat and drink on a plane.
Yeah, put your fucking mask on. Who invited you to come to drink your ass up? Don't you dare talk to me like that. You stand your step up. Stand your ass up. Stand your ass up.
Sit down, Karen.
Hell yeah. Sit down, Karen. Now I'm all for wearing a mask, and I'm all for calling out anti-maskers. But some of these pro-mask Karens can be just as bad. I mean, let the man eat and drink in peace, and especially don't be a hypocrite by lowering your mask to yell at somebody else for lowering theirs. Not only does it make you look bad, but it kind of defeats the purpose of wearing a mask in the first place.
Karen?
You're a goddamn Karen.
No.
Sit down.
Sir.
Sit down, Karen.
Sit down there, see?
Pussy, no, you're the pussy.
Oh, no, you're the dick.
Do you want the police to meet you on the ground?
What about him?
Mask up. Now.
Mask up.
Conversation, like velocity, have magnitude and direction. And that airline employee's conversation is directed at you, Karen.
Put your mask up.
Mask up. Tell him to mask up. Tell him
You
to
got
mask
your
up.
mask down, bitch.
Sir,
Yes, I did.
stop it again.
Well, that was dumb. But then again, no one's ever accused a Karen of having an IQ greater than their waistline.
Now you're going to jail. That's assault. You're going to jail. As soon as we get in Atlanta, you're going to jail. Bitch. Karen. Hey, spit on me.
Maybe I should have titled this video How Karen Ruined Her Life in 60 Seconds or Less, because the consequences of this confrontation just went from go back to your seat, Karen, to detained mid-flight and probably getting arrested for 2 counts of assault when you land. Not a big brain move, Karen.
Now you double going to jail, bitch.
You fucking piece of shit.
Piece of pussy, sit down, Karen. Sit down, Karen. Sit down, pussy, Karen. Look, she punched me. She
Put your
slashed my
fucking
face.
mask on. Tell him to put his mask on. Put your fucking
She
mask
punched
on.
me. She scratched my face. I want her to fuck
Put
out
your
of here.
fucking mask on. Put your fucking mask
Put
on.
yours on, bitch.
I will put my mask on. I will put my mask on when you put your mask on.
He's eating and drinking food. And as strict as the airlines are being about wearing a mask in flight, I highly doubt that they would just let him pull his mask down as a matter of convenience or exemption. Not to mention, as much as you'd like to take on the responsibility, it's not your job to enforce airline policies, Karen.
She went crazy on the airplane. Punched this man in the face, spit on him, scratched him, poured hot water on my leg.
Watching a self-entitled Karen getting arrested against her belief has got to be one of the few remaining joys in life. Alright, the final video is about a Karen named Karen, who Karens about the legalization of marijuana in Michigan.
My name is Karen Bonanno. I'm a mother of 3 children. I've lived in Michigan my entire life. Marijuana is considered a Schedule I drug by the federal government. It's classified in the same category as heroin and LSD.
Marijuana is classified as Schedule I simply because it has no accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. And while I've never done heroin and I've only done LSD a few times when I was much younger, I can tell you with certainty that smoking weed is nothing like the other two. I would say smoking marijuana is more akin to like smoking tobacco or drinking alcohol, and neither one of those drugs are scheduled. But the real question on everyone's mind, especially the police, is where'd you get all that weed, Karen?
This happens to be oregano.
That's what they all say, Karen.
But it shows how much marijuana will be allowed per resident in the state of Michigan should the legalization of recreational marijuana occur. 2.5 ounces per resident will be allowed when we're out and about in public, so at any given time.
You can get high as fuck? Well, boyos, looks like we're moving to Michigan.
This shows 10 ounces of dried plant material. However, if this initiative is passed, each resident of Michigan will be allowed 10 ounces of dried plant material in their homes.
10 ounces? That's it?
In addition to 12 plants.
Now we're talking.
Which may start out as table plants, but can grow into the size of crops. As a parent, as a mother, I'm concerned about kids getting their hands on a little bit of marijuana out of this big bag.
So you're concerned that you might have to do some actual parenting. Got it. These are the same types of people that are afraid their children are going to play too many video games on school nights, or they're going to watch porn so they don't give them access to the internet. Well, unfortunately for you, Karen, kids are going to do what kids do. And it's your responsibility to make sure your children are raised right, not government legislation.
How will we know as a mother to mother, whether or not our children are going into a home where this much marijuana is available and our kids have easy access to it? The initiative states that the 10 ounces would require a lock, but how would that be regulated?
I don't know, Karen. Probably the same way they regulate adults owning dangerous narcotic prescription drugs and having children at the same time. I would think that the government would hold parents responsible if they allow their children to have access to their marijuana stash, the same way they would hold parents responsible for allowing children access to their medicine cabinet.
As a mother, It's very concerning that there would be so much marijuana integrated into our neighborhoods and our communities.
Do you really think that that amount of marijuana doesn't already exist in your community? Do you really think that by legalizing marijuana, everyone and their mother is all of a sudden going to start getting high on the street corner? No. The whole purpose of decriminalizing marijuana is to keep people from being unnecessarily locked up for smoking an unprocessed plant that grows freely in nature, and to reduce the amount of potential crime that exists with the scheduling of marijuana.
And how will it work as a parent if we're having a birthday party in our backyard for, say, our 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, and our neighbors are having a marijuana party in their backyard, and the marijuana is wafting over their fence into our 5-year-old's birthday party?
I don't know what kind of marijuana parties Karen's been to, but the weed parties that I've attended, also known in the gamer world as LAN parties, typically involve a dozen 2-liter Mountain Dews, 7 pizzas, and GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64. The only time someone would go outside during one of our weed parties was to smoke a cigarette.
From the perspective of a parent, it's very alarming, the thought of explaining this to our children.
Like I said, you're gonna have to learn to parent a little harder, Karen. Okay, so that's the end of the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Comment below letting me know what your funniest experience at a weed party is, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my content. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.
But while we're here, let's go through a few dozen more key points. Given that we're on the subject of models, let's hit the one you use for your explanation of the Coriolis effect.
You can kind of draw a clockwise orbit, Bob, in the middle there, and you can see how that this would cause. There you go. You know, if the sun and moon are moving in this, and you know they're diamagnetic and pushing water, causing tides, and then you've also got these winds that and storms that would, you know, have to be what the sun and moon would cause.
Would have to be? How? You haven't explained anything. So the sun pushes water to get the air currents, and the moon pulls water to get the tides? Also, does the sun push the atmosphere in one direction to the right and magically in the other direction to the left? What about storm rotation, which is what this whole thing was about? You've made no attempt to even put the sun and moon in there and physically explain anything. You just say words relating to electromagnetism and hand wave it away.
No, Dave, we're not trying to claim that it's all caused by magnetism. My God, you extrapolate stuff that is just utterly ridiculous. We never said that, and they are electromagnetic phenomenon, like we have been claiming for a long time. Electromagnetic, like we have been claiming for a long time.
And another thing here, guys, even if we grant you this magnetic magic that you're looking for, it's still inconsistent with your model. Here's why.
The line going through the middle of the screen, if you picture the sun traveling from the right side of the screen to the left, it would create those same wind patterns above and below it.
Sorry, didn't you say that the sun moves from tropic to tropic? In that case, the boundary that divides the direction of storm rotation would also move from tropic to tropic. It doesn't. Storm rotation doesn't vary by the time of year. Also, why wouldn't compasses follow the sun through the sky? Also, why wouldn't storms speed up during the day while near the sun and slow down at night when the sun is away? Also, if you're claiming these southern winds are so incredibly fast, how is that possible if they're the furthest away from the source of the effect? None of it makes sense. In actuality, the Coriolis effect is just the result of basic physics relating to rotating bodies. That's why the equator is the dividing line. Pretty simple, don't you think?
Which makes a whole lot more sense than the Coriolis effect, you know, being the reason in the heliocentric on the ball Earth for storms going in opposite sides of the equator. In fact, that is just silly when you think about that. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's ridiculous.
No.
Wow, very convincing counter-argument. Let's move on.
Astronomy and astrophysics and all of that, Dave, these aren't even real sciences. Okay. Now, you obviously are going to claim that they are, but the reason that they're not real sciences is because the only thing that you can do is observe them. You cannot test them. You cannot do anything to be interactive with them. You cannot generate hypotheses or experiments or anything like that. All you can do is simply observe.
Sorry, guys, that's dead wrong. There are hundreds of examples I could choose, but I'll use this one. In the 19th century, we noticed irregularities in the orbit of Uranus. We realized these irregularities could be explained if there was another planet perturbing its orbit by gravitational influence. We did some math and predicted that there should be another planet in a particular place. We looked in that place, and what do you know? There it was. You can't get any more empirical than that. Do some math, make a prediction, the prediction is verified. The discovery of Neptune is a great example that corroborates Newtonian gravitational theory and demonstrates that astronomy is an empirical science, just like any other. It's not surprising that you don't understand this, because this is one of many instances that you demonstrate yourselves to be exemplars of the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is where your absolutely minimal experience has lured you into believing that you have expertise in a particular field, where in reality you are essentially incompetent. It is a cognitive bias that will be demonstrated many more times in this video. Now let's move on to another category. There are about 1,000 flat earth gotchas that all amount to an inability to understand conservation of momentum. These are your helicopters and planes arguments. Let's see which ones you're guilty of.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you're doing an Olympic, say, long jump event, I would always opt to jump from east to west because, you know, where you're going to land should be racing towards you.
No. When you jump off the Earth or take off from the Earth, you retain the momentum imparted upon you by the rotation of the Earth. This has nothing to do with the atmosphere. It's also very easy to prove. Stand on the back of a moving truck. Jump up. What happens? Do you fly back off the truck at 30 miles an hour? No. You land right back where you started, even though the truck has moved forward while you were in the air. Why? Because in the air, you retain the forward momentum of the truck. When
the full-length video with minimal say that this video is in full accordance with the CDC and WHO regarding social distancing and wearing a mask. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Yes, I'm barely over getting sick and my voice is only just coming back, but we have so many dipshits to cover. So let's begin.
This message is for the deep state cabal. You've tried just about everything. Donuts, lottery tickets, all other kinds of monetary persuasions.
What the hell is Grandma doing talking about the cabal and donuts and lottery tickets again? Somebody really needs to turn the Wi-Fi off to her flip phone before she records herself saying something really stupid.
Even relenting to threats of every kind, unimaginable threats even, but it's not working. We are winning. The Patriots are winning, and you are losing. We will not comply, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. We will not comply.
If only the government started telling these bootleg Martha Stewart clones that the vaccine came with a free insider stock trading tip, then they'd be the first ones in line to get the shot. Okay, enough with Granny K. She has 50 real cats to feed before her one imaginary friend shows up for the tea party. Now our next Karen is a repeat offender, and most of y'all will probably remember her.
Thank you, San Diego. Thank you for absolutely fucking nothing. I drove all the way down here just to get some fresh fucking air, escape life for a minute, enjoy this, what should have been beautiful hike, but unfortunately it was ruined by all the fucking muzzled retards outside at the top of a fucking cliff, not wanting to breathe any fresh air.
Can you imagine how sad and pathetic her life must be to get this triggered by a random person wearing a mask? I mean, I get it. Plague rats like her can become super defensive when you ask them why they choose to be inconsiderate, antisocial, science-denying troglodytes. But it takes a real paint taster to get this offended by someone else wearing a mask.
Like, literally 50% of the people on this hike were masked. I've just lost all faith in humanity. I'm sorry. San Diego is what I thought San Diego was supposed to be the best. Clearly, it's no fucking different than LA. I'm so fucking done. I'm so done. This place is fucking hopeless. I hate everyone.
Everyone hates you too, Karen.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm assuming I'm okay. All right. I'm Angela Box, and I'm a former HISD teacher.
Hold on. When she says she used to be a teacher, what Angela Box really means is that she used to teach elementary school and resigned in disgrace over half a decade ago in her less haggardly years. I would hate for her self-attributions to be misconstrued in such a manner that you actually believe she knows what the fuck she's talking about.
Recently, Millard House said that this leftist school board would not waver on obscene and ridiculous mask mandates because they were, quote, following science. Here's a very simple question. Where are the studies that show a paper or a cloth mask stops a virus particle that is 0.1 microns in size? Answer, they do not exist.
Well, the studies don't exist as long as you don't look for them. In my previous videos, I've shown several studies that confirm that wearing a mask does in fact mitigate the spread of COVID-19. So today, we're going to add another study to that list, as I found a study in the American Society for Microbiology, which was conducted by researchers from the University of Tokyo. The study found that cotton masks, surgical masks, and N95 masks had a protective effect with respect to the transmission of infective droplets and aerosols, and that the protective efficiency was higher when masks were worn by the virus spreader. And as I've done in the past, a link to the study will be in the description if you'd like to read up on it for yourself.
You are muzzling students and staff for politics, and you know it. So, you wonder why there are so many mass HISD resignations? Here's why. Leftists say, discipline, racist. Expecting civilized behavior, racist. Walking in a straight line, racist. Math, racist. Grammar, racist. Literature, racist. Spelling, racist. Science, racist. Fluency, racist. Real grades, racist. History, obviously racist. Is it any wonder that only 10% of HISD juniors and seniors are ready for the real world? You torment students and teachers with these germ-filled paper diaper muzzles that are cutting off oxygen to their brains and are killing basic socialization skills. You applaud George Soros-planted dictators like Lena Hidalgo for continuing this farce.
You can't say that the school board is at fault by making this all about politics and racism, and then go on a diatribe about your racist and political beliefs on the issue. You see, when you say hypocritical shit like that, Karen, it not only makes you look like a dumbass, but it really highlights the Aryan qualities of your Cro-Magnon forehead.
You can't help me without a mask. Even though the order, the declaration by Queen Jezebel herself clearly says there is room for medical exemptions.
Bullshit artist! I say again, bullshit artist!
Oh yeah, you are. You're saying I can't be in here. That's what you're saying. You're saying I cannot be in this public space without a face diaper on. That's what you're saying.
No, what he's saying is that you can't be on their private property without a mask on your face, which is their right to require to protect their customers and employees. And if you don't like it, just as if you didn't like if they changed their bread, then you can go get your fucking sandwich from the next shop, Karen.
Even though it's clear. We are following the rules. I'm following the rules. You can't serve me without a diaper on my face. Is that what you're saying?
Not a diaper. It's got to be a mask. It can't be a cloth.
A face covering. An effective face covering. What's effective? Yours looks like a tie-dye. Yours looks like something on a ghost. His is camouflaged. Shall we keep on going here?
Oh yes, please, keep going. Keep putting your stupidity on display by correlating the effectiveness of masks with what's printed on the outside of them. See, I get it. You don't want to wear a mask, and at this point, you really don't have to. But we don't have to accept you as a pro-social member of society as long as you keep acting like an antisocial crayon muncher.
You're not going to convince us. We're not going to convince you.
What are you guys afraid of? Why do you wear it? Are you afraid of something, or does it?
He's got an immunity issue.
A what?
Everyone, time out. Sir, we're not saving you. Please leave. We've already been over this 5 times.
5 times? Why don't we go over 100 times? When are you going to start using that brain inside of your head?
When you start using the one that's jammed up your ass, Karen. And I'll tell you this 100 times over. You do not know better than the entirety of medicine. So when it comes to your opinions on medical knowledge, it's best you just put on a mask and keep those opinions on that side of the fabric.
Yes, that's in the order. You can trespass me, because that's everybody's end around on this. Why would I want to do that when I'm standing right here? We would have been done already. And I don't need one on. And I don't.
Well, you do if you want 12 inches of Jimmy's John in and around your mouth, Karen.
Well, clearly Jimmy John's in Rochester, Minnesota does not need any more damn business. We'll make sure of that. The what? The best what? That we have the best hospital? You mean in Mayo Clinic? Oh, dear God. What? I'm not interested in your opinion. That's an opinion. Best hospital in the world, Mayo Clinic.
Well, according to several polls, the Mayo Clinic does in fact rank as the best hospital in the world, including a recent one in 2021 by Statista. But let's get something straight here. If this idiot was able to fool a half-wit into breeding with him and their 3-hooved baby was seriously sick, he would be rushing them to the Mayo Clinic way before he'd be taking them to a local county hospital.
Just leave. That's what it's come to. Well, I hope you all are proud of yourselves. I hope you die 1,000 deaths a day, because that's what's going on. Have a good day. I will, now that I'm leaving. I tell you what, I'd like to swear right now, but I'm trying to keep it decent. This is what it's come to in Rochester, Minnesota, the town with the guy said the best hospital in the world. So, Jimmy John's no more gets our business. So.
And you no more get Jimmy John's meat tube. Not without shirt, shoes, and a mask, jackass.
Okay, guys, this latest episode of Upside Down Twilight Zone Clown World, these people are lined up like cattle, like sheep. Okay, this guy's got 2 masks on. And it's around 10 a.m. I guess some of these people have jobs, but they line up for testing for something that isn't real. They're all buying into this. They're still wearing masks outside, not breathing fresh air. They've all probably been boosted for a vaccine that clearly doesn't work.
You're damn right it doesn't work. The poke is 100% ineffective for every single person that doesn't take it. Eat those facts, vax-tards.
And they're just lined up like this. Look at this. It's crazy. Oh, they got the news. This is unbelievable. This is what's going on, okay? Look, and by the way, this is the end of the line, okay? The end of the line here. Wraps all the way around behind here. Down to there. All the way here. All the way around. These people are just lined up like sheep. And they don't respond to you because they're clearly just... They clearly don't even... I mean, it's nuts. And then you have the biggest perpetrator here, which is the news. The news is telling these people to line up like this to get a test that doesn't work for something that doesn't exist. And all these people are just brainwashed by this guy. Okay, pal. Okay. Yeah, go Terps. Okay, pal. So you have the masses lined up like this, this grand delusion. It's a giant psychological operation. Look at them. They just are defeated, hopeless, broken, zombied out. This is the zombie apocalypse. I know, you laugh at me, but I mean, you still, after 2 years, you're still... You're after 2 years, you're still. No, I mean, look at you. You're brainwashed. You believe in something that isn't even real. I have a life. Okay. You're the one standing in line for a test for something that doesn't exist. So, at least that guy has something to say. Most of these people are just zombies, and they just look at them. They just take a few steps forward, get the thing shoved up your nose. And then you have the perpetrator here, which is the fake news media that just lies for a living for a paycheck to the people. Why don't you guys start reporting on the vaccine database? You guys ever heard of the vaccine VAERS database that's reporting all the vaccine injury, myocarditis, stroke, heart attack? You think that's normal for a vaccine?
All vaccines have potential side effects, and it's been like that for hundreds of years now. But let's address this VAERS bullshit, which stands for the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. Anytime someone brings up the VAERS database, you be sure to remind them that any person at any time can report any injury due to a vaccine, whether the injury occurred or not. For instance, if I was a politically motivated house mom, I could literally sit at home all day and report injury after injury after injury, and every single one of them would be counted without verification. And if you don't believe me, go check for yourself.
Yeah, you're right. Comorbidities, that's true. Yeah. I don't really talk to you guys, man.
See, that's the problem. You say you want to be a citizen and participate in society, yet you're not willing to talk to us in an interview. So you're creating an illusion that we're not balanced, but we are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do an interview with you, man. Sorry. I think you're the.
Your whole argument about.
No, I've done lots of interviews with media, and they twist my words, and they say that I'm saying it's like. They do. They cut it, and they say all these things. They call me a racist, all sorts of stuff. So I just don't trust you guys, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I think they're the enemy of the people. I think you can do your own reporting about the vaccine database, the injuries.
You think you should assault enemies of the people?
I don't assault anybody. What do you mean assault?
Like I was assaulted on January 6th.
I've been assaulted. Listen, I've been assaulted in D.C. 5 or 6 times. But yeah, I understand. Listen, they put me. Listen, I understand. I'm sorry about. I agree. I know it's nonsense.
Well, but First Amendment I grew up with.
Well, I agree with you. But you're getting a paycheck and reporting fake news. How? What? Fake news. Yeah. Yeah.
It's defamatory to my reputation.
It's my belief. I have freedom of speech. Okay, if you wanna, do the things or whatever, that's what I think. I watch the news. I see what you guys do.
So I can call you names?
Of course. It's a free country.
Not really.
Okay, well then
you say it's not a free
you're complaining about the Constitution right now and how your rights, you were assaulted and all these things. Okay, I understand that. I've been assaulted too. Okay, but we have freedom of speech. We're allowed to think what we want to think.
Say, I don't come to you. Where do you work? You work someplace probably. I don't want to know where you work.
I work for myself.
Imagine if I showed up where you work in the class.
Well, he works from home, so if you're going to harass him at his job, you're going to need to find out which bridge he trolls under first.
Well, sir, this is not an office building, it's a public space, okay? You're harassing me at this point. I'm done engaging with you. Okay, well then, and it's a public place. If I came to great. If I had an office and I came to your office, it's a totally different scenario.
If you were a credential media, we'd be having a discussion right now about how we could cooperate and share this part together in your place. I don't need to hear you on my microphone. Okay?
Okay, well, too bad. Too bad.
That's logical.
No, I mean, the homeless guy over there can come up and start talking on your microphone. It's not logical. Yeah, I tell those stories all the time.
I just don't want to tell your story today.
Okay, then don't.
Okay, so stop.
You lie to the people for a living. You lie to people for a living and get a paycheck. Start covering the VAERS database. Start covering things that are real.
The VAERS database is about as real as my crackless ass. Remember, what can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed because it's probably just a lonely Karen with a computer and too much free time on her hands.
What do I look like, a news editor?
I don't know. I mean, I see you. I see you have a camera. I see you're filming things. You should really start talking. You should really. The news.
Go to your mechanic and tell him what to do with your car next week.
Okay. Anyway.
See how that goes.
Okay.
Mechanic next time.
So the media is clearly jaded because they know they're lying to the people, and this guy wants to say all these things in a public space and complain. Then move your camera, okay? You leave. I have just as much right to be here as you, sir. You don't have a permit to be here.
Free to stay here and I go to where
I'll agree to be free and do what I want. Okay, buddy. Okay, you put your mask on. So anyway, so you have all these these people lined up here like cattle, taking pictures of me like that means something. And they're getting tested here in the public property. The media's all jaded. They should be, because they collect money for lying to people. So I'd be upset with myself too. And anyway, this is what it looks like. So people just lined up for a test. Look at this, children, child abuse. It's just, I mean, we're living in an upside down clown world. It's so bizarre.
Well, thank goodness there's clowns like you to keep us entertained through this pandemic madness. Alright, that's the end of the video. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Comment below which Karen in the video was the worst. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my new content. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.
Of the truck. When you jump off the earth or take off from the earth, the same thing
say that
enemy killing spree.
On the 9th day of Christmas, Team Skeptic gave to me 9 anti-maskers, 8 entitled Karen, 7 soft-sits, 6 sparks of sparking, 5 frauditors, 4 dumb flirts, 3 police rides, 2 stupid Moors, and an idiot under the tree.
So let's begin.
Oh, I can't wear one. I have a medical condition. If I were in a wheelchair, would you discriminate against me? I hope not.
Right. Because choosing to use a wheelchair because your legs don't work properly is the same thing as not choosing to wear a mask because you're a self-entitled see you next Tuesday.
I don't wear a mask. I'm a free American. Thank you. Well, I'm sorry to inform you that you're incorrect, and I actually do have a medical condition, and I have every right to be here. So maybe you should call the police and tell them that you're breaking the law. That's practicing medicine without a license.
No, that's not them practicing medicine without a license, as they didn't make any medical claims. That's them practicing their right to choose to enforce their policies on their private property and to choose not to serve your cave Karen ass.
You're not a doctor, and a mask is a medical intervention. Are you aware of that? No, you need to be aware of that. I didn't wake up in North Korea this morning. I woke up in America.
Lady, you woke up this morning in a lead bathtub full of entitlement and delusion. If this was North Korea, you wouldn't be walking around criticizing the government because they would have locked your ass up by now and you would literally be facing the death penalty.
And here we have rights. This is a God-given right to breathe. God-given. Nobody takes it or grants it.
Try telling that to the Hillside Strangler, and I'll start believing that breathing is a God-given right the moment that you can demonstrate that your imaginary friend actually exists.
I'm sorry for you that you're so ignorant. I'm very sorry for you. But that's okay, because there's plenty of people who will not comply, so we don't need you to be on board. You'll be among the sheep led to slaughter any day now.
Sure, Karen, these people are the sheep, says the lady who thinks breathing is a God-given right and the Lord is her shepherd, which, by definition, makes you one of his sheep, dumbass.
Mask?
I actually don't.
And yes, you do have to wear a mask.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Then please leave.
Mm-hmm.
And how dare you talk to her like that? This isn't us.
Why don't you read it out loud?
You have to.
I'll read it to you.
You have to wear a mask.
A licensed medical professional is the only person qualified to give medical advice, including the advice to wear a mask, which negatively affects the respiratory system, neurological system.
Okay, that's okay.
And
in
immune
this
system.
store, in this store, you have to wear a mask.
Practicing medicine without a license
I'm gonna call police.
is an offense punishable by law.
So is trespassing, Karen. But only one of those laws actually apply in this situation.
There is no law in California that requires anyone to wear a mask in any business establishment. Guidelines are not laws. Equal access and accommodations in any business establishment whatsoever is protected by law. No citizen may be discriminated against based on a health condition, which I have.
Yeah, you suffer from antisocial syndrome, which is short for being an ass in public.
California Civil Code 51B. Any threat of intimidation in this matter will result in law enforcement being summoned. So thanks for doing my job.
Coming right now.
Good, good. I'm glad. I'm gonna keep browsing. Thank you.
No, you need to be out of here.
Actually, I
Yes,
wouldn't
you do.
touch me because that would be assault. So you can just wait for the police.
Hi.
So sorry
my
that you
name
were
is
tripping.
Rolando, and I am at the hospice shop in Alamo. Every person actually refuses to wear a mask. Will not leave.
Oh, goodness.
She won't leave us.
She's a free American.
Free American? No. You're a piece of shit. You're a self-centered, narcissistic, unemployed, and undereducated pile of wasted carbon. And you should be apologizing to all the trees around you for working so hard to produce the oxygen that you breathe. I mean, do you even know what hospice means? It's for patients who are typically expected to live about 6 months or less, and you're actively out here trying to shorten their lifespan to 14 days, just so you can spread your master race belief system to people who frankly don't care to hear your delusional ramblings.
They're on their way. And he said you are not to be in the store. He said I have the right to ask you to leave the business.
Well, I actually know the law, and you.
That is not
apparently
the law. The law is every business can. You're so funny. Every business
So funny.
has the right.
Have you looked at yourself recently?
Why would I need to look at myself?
Because you look ridiculous. You look. This is.
I look ridiculous?
Yes, this is an ascent to a satanic cult.
Okay, the point.
I'm glad you find that funny.
She's not the only one that finds you funny, and I'm sure that the number of people that see you as a comical troll far outweigh the number of people who actually take you seriously in life.
The police?
Yeah, I would just wait for the police.
That's okay, wait for the police.
Wonderful.
I don't like you in here because if you have COVID,
Tough crap.
You're spreading it to
I'm gonna
us.
breathe all over while I'm in here, okay? Yeah. So, yes. Because I couldn't give you COVID if I tried.
That's okay.
It's the
Police will
flu.
be here any-
It's not the flu, dipshit. According to the CDC, in 2019 there were 61,000 deaths in the United States due to influenza. In 2020, there were over 350,000 deaths due to COVID-19. So if COVID-19 is truly just the flu, then how do you account for the deaths being 6 times greater from one year to the next?
Exactly.
And they will take you out of here.
I cannot wait to see that
Yeah, I
happen.
bet you can.
I can't.
You think this is exciting and funny, don't
I
you?
think this is funny.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yes, because putting other people's lives at risk in the middle of a deadly pandemic is funny to you. Well, fuck you, Karen. If you were in the middle of the desert and dying of thirst, and I had a bottle of water, I'd drink it, piss in the bottle, and drink it again.
But it's actually a tragedy because you don't realize that these are God-given rights, so you can't grant
Didn't God make
or
doctors?
take them away.
Didn't God make vaccines? Didn't God get the doctors?
Well, I suppose you
Yeah?
could put it that way, but there's plenty of doctors who feel exactly the way I do.
And just like you, Karen, they're called quacks.
And according to our Constitution, I have God-given rights
That's okay. The cops will be here. anyway.
protected
That's okay.
by, yes, they're supposed to be upheld by the same officers who swore an oath to that Constitution. So, there you go.
Oh, don't worry, Karen. The officers are going to uphold the Constitution and enforce rights when they get there. That is, the rights of the business owners to kick your ass out of their store, and your rights to get your dumbass trespass from the property.
Actually, under the law of public accommodation, they don't. Maybe if we were in North Korea, but we're in America.
They have the right to refuse service anyway. So let's go ahead and put your items down and we'll go outside and talk. Okay?
I mean, I just want it to be known that they are discriminating against a healthy American.
I get it.
If I were in a wheelchair,
I'd push your ass down a steep-ass mountain and tell you it's my God-given right to entertain myself.
I get it. Let's just go
Have you heard
outside.
of UNRWA
Let's
civil
go,
rights?
Let's go outside and we'll talk about it, okay?
you're all practicing medicine without a license. Okay? A mask is a medical intervention and I can't wear one. So if it was the 50s and I was black being discriminated, this is what it is. Congratulations.
Right, because the non-observance of your self-entitlement is the exact same thing as the civil rights atrocities on African Americans in the 1950s, Karen. This is coming from the same lady who went on a racist rant in another video I covered where she started telling black employees at a store that slavery was a choice.
You're a slave. Slavery is a choice.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Your identification on you that I can see, please?
Why would I show that to you?
Because you're in here causing a disturbance.
I'm-
I get called. Hold on, listen to me.
I'm being
You're in here
discriminated
causing a
against.
disturbance.
I'm happy to
I
leave.
get called here.
I'm happy
I
to
need
leave.
to figure out who you are, right?
Well, I mean, you're
So
not going to show
Let me see
me.
what you got then. Let me see.
Sure.
Where do we print this up? Off the internet?
The Healthy American.
The Healthy American. So you're talking about Peggy Horseteeth Hall, who also went on a racist rant at a local farmer's market in California, who then spawned Lenka Bigfoot Coloma and the Freedom to Breathe Agency, who not only became a right-to-travel sovereign citizen terrorist, but also got in trouble for posing as a government agent and harassing essential workers about their mask policy. See, I try to cover these videos in a funny and comical manner to make it more palatable for you, but behind each one of these videos is a deeper and more important issue that I'm addressing.
Called everyone out.
Okay. So this is probably an old civil code. Have you ever seen this civil
It's
code?
not an old civil code, sir.
Have you been it?
In the United States of America, we have something called the First Amendment. When you, back in the day when you were in police academy and you did swear an oath, and that First Amendment covers
come on over here.
my religious freedom.
You're so dumb, Karen. The First Amendment protects your religious rights from being infringed upon by the government. It does not apply to private businesses who don't want team killing fucktards there doing what they do best.
You can. If you want to shop at a place that discriminates, you can definitely go in. I'm happy to go. I have another event I need to go to.
When she says she has another event to go to, we know what she means. She has another local business she intends on harassing.
But I just wanted to get a party dress and shop like any normal American would.
Do you live in the area?
I don't see why that's any of your business. Anyway, I have cards if you want to learn more about.
No.
You have no interest.
That everybody has to have a mask.
Actually, in the governor's order, there's exceptions for people with medical conditions, which I have.
You know, when this pandemic is finally over and things return to normal, these anti-maskers are going to have to explain why they're all so diseased and full of medical conditions.
And even if I did not, as a Christian, I don't veil my face. That's guaranteed to me under the First Amendment.
Medical condition, you probably have to provide that information so that we can.
Show us your papers. Are we back in like 1940s Germany?
Okay.
Ah, yes, the poor plight of the 2021 anti-masker. Life's so hard that the oppression surpassed that of both the 1950s African American and the World War II persecuted Jew.
So, I guess we're done here.
Yeah, I guess we're done.
They're refusing service to you.
Yeah.
That's their right to do.
And you are, instead of upholding my rights, you're just allowing them to run roughshod over the law.
Told what I'm being told by
Yeah, I'd love to get all of your information, please, so I could follow up.
So they don't want her back in the store. That's fine.
I am just told
Deputy Wallace
him I
of the
was
Coxsackie
on
County
my way to
Sheriff's
leave.
Office, okay?
I'd like everyone's names and numbers, please. Badge numbers.
I don't have a badge number. My name is Deputy Wallace.
Deputy
Wallace. Bergie.
Bergie? Could you please spell that?
Sir, there, take a picture.
It's a little small for me. I am 44.
This Karen is proof that age is nothing more than a count of successful orbits around the sun. Because I complete my 44th orbit in a few days, and I stopped acting this petulant on my 4th time around.
Bergie, thank you, sir. And you? What about him? Sir? Officer? Deputy? Do you have a name? Oh, I see. Okay, good. That's a nice cowardly move on your part. Awesome.
Cowardly? You mean like being too cowardly to put on a mask when asked to do so? Or being too cowardly to tell the truth, constantly lying about having a medical condition to get your way? If there's anyone in this scenario that's being cowardly, it's you, Karen. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, Hey guys, and welcome to today's YouTube Idiots video. Today, we have a pretty short video that many of you may have already seen. the infamous Victoria's Secret Karen video. So let's begin.
Excuse, now you are, oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see this?
Yeah, we see it. This is the moment when Karen realized that she done fucked up. Now everyone in this video is pretty much a Karen, except for maybe the Victoria's Secret employees. But the lady freaking out in blue, she's Karen Prime.
Oh my God, I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me. And now she... Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me.
So apparently what happened is Karen Prime tried to cut in front of the person who was filming, and that's how this all popped off. But once Karen Prime realized she was caught in 4K trying to assault the person filming, she had a privileged meltdown.
She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You should have thought about that before you did what you did. Oh my God. This don't even feel real. This do not feel real.
Well, how about this, Karen? Why don't you try to not assault random people in public, and then who cares if someone films you or not?
Y'all had to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry. No. I want you to call security. Thank you. I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail? And I got to pick up my Converse boots from Nordstrom's. I don't know why this is happening to me.
This is happening to you because Karens be tripping over that free panty. During Victoria's Secret's free panty event, housewives literally transform into department store warlords. They go from being granny panty PTA members to thonged up outlaw bikers that even the Hells Angels wouldn't fuck with.
Don't charge me. Oh, you wanna? Yeah, she. I'm scared to even approach her.
I don't think this qualifies as a true mental breakdown. More like a realization that you're about to become an internet sensation for all the wrong reasons.
You're scaring me. Like you gotta go postal.
Karen, if you don't want to be filmed doing stupid shit in public, then don't do stupid shit in public. And to all my parents out there, this is what happens when you let a child grow up without ever hearing the word no.
No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this. Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go.
The lady filming does have a point. Karen Prime could leave at any point in time, and she continues to stay. And the Karens at the register should really just mind their own business. Now, while the lady who's filming is being a bit antagonizing, the Karen in blue is absolutely at fault here.
This is crazy.
Oh my god. This makes me think of something Chubby Emu would say. Karen is a middle-aged woman presenting herself to Victoria's Secret with excessive self-entitlement. At first, no one could tell what was wrong with her, but after a closer examination, it was determined that she was suffering from hypokarenemia. Hypo meaning low, Karen, coming from the Greek word for entitlement, anemia, meaning presence in the blood. So Karen was suffering from not enough entitlement for her body to function properly. Basically, her body just shut down. The employees were perplexed. No one knew what to do. But just as quickly as her body was crashing from low self-entitlement, her condition completely flipped. Karen was now suffering from hyperprivilecolonics. Hyper meaning excessive, privla being derived from the Latin word for entitlement, and colonics, the American word for butthole. So now Karen is suffering from so much entitlement that it's oozing out of her ass. The first condition causes a Karen's body to shut down. The second condition, well, you'll see. Karen, you're an idiot.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself. Yeah. Crazy lady. In case she attacked me and try to say I attacked her. You cut. Look at this. Get away from me! Oh, y'all better get this lady! Get away from me! You're look at this! Get security! Get the phone! Security! Look at this! Yes, can y'all get her away from me? Get her away from me! Oh, have mercy! Get her away from me!
Somebody needs to get that lady her free panty. And I love how Karen Prime is screaming at the lady filming to get away from her while actively chasing her around the store.
Shut down.
Get her away from me! No, I gotta just protect myself. She's trying to attack me. No. Stop threatening me! See, and she's saying I'm threatening her. I'm not saying nothing to her. It's to protect me. Once the law get here, who they gonna believe? Her white ass or my black ass?
Great fucking point. And I'm not trying to bring a racial element into this video, but just to say that you can already see how some of the other customers are immediately trying to defend this lady who literally assaulted the woman filming at the beginning of this video.
Get her away from me, please! Stop her recording from me! Where's security in this short hills, y'all?
What the fuck? I mean, I joke around all the time about adults acting like 9-year-olds, but this lady is seriously acting like she's still bitter about not being picked for the kickball team in elementary school.
Oh my god, and it's short hills. Get her away! I gotta stop coming here. I thought this was the safe mall.
Stop what, Karen? If I was her, I'd be recording you too. And not just to protect myself from all the false accusations that I'm sure are to come when the police get there, but also because you represent endless and priceless entertainment for free.
She's lying on the phone. Don't tell me what to do. She said I threatened her. Well, I don't give a fuck about her being sick.
I actually agree with the lady filming here, because this Karen only appears to be acting this way when interacting with the woman who's filming, and seems to be totally fine when interacting with Karens of her own kind.
I'm worried about me. You hear this? Yo, y'all can't think y'all hear this? This stuff y'all read about. This is real. This is really happening to me. She's on the phone with the police on me, and she's chasing me around the damn store. She's chasing me around the damn store. And I'm supposed to...
She's recording me. She's taking me and she's threatening me. She recorded my mental breakdown and she's laughing. Get her come over here, please. My heart's racing.
I just came to get a free penny. I just came to get a... Hey, assalamu alaikum. I just came to get a free panty. That's all. That's all. And spend my little 50 and get the $10 off. See what free panties will get you?
Free anything to a Karen is dangerous, but give a Karen a free panty? And shit, somebody's gonna get hurt.
This lady that chased me, she calling the police on me now. And I can't believe this long and security not here. Yeah, get the cops here. This how black people be dying. You see this? See what these people do? They call in a panic and tell police that you doing something to them when you clearly saw her chase me around the store. She's telling them, get here, I'm helping, my heart's racing. Look. Oh, see, did you see that?
Oh my god, no fucking comment. I mean, right now, she reminds me of a bull in a china shop. Minus the bull penis and the china. I guess that just makes her an angry cow in a shop. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is going to be where we end the video today. If there's anything I've learned from this video, it's 1. Don't go to Victoria's Secret during free panty event or risk being trampled by a privilege of Karens. And 2, the Karens are fucking idiots. Alright guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. This was just a short one to keep you guys satisfied, but if you want to familiarize yourself with the entire Victoria's Secret's Karen lore, then I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check out all the parts to all the videos. But thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. If you found this video interesting, then give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And a massive shout out to all of my channel members and patrons whose support helps me keep doing what I love to do, calling out idiots on the internet. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out. Hey guys, and welcome to today's YouTube Idiots video. In today's video, we're going to be covering a familiar face on this channel, Blanca Coloma, who many of you may remember as being the anti-mask Karen who was walking around and harassing essential workers, telling them that they'd be fined by her federal agency, the Freedom to Breathe Agency. Now, I said many times that when the mask mandates were lifted that these anti-mask Karens would find a new home. Many of them would become anti-vaccination Karens, many of them would become sovereign citizen Karens, and many of them would become both. This video is a prime example of when an anti-mask Karen becomes a full-blown sovereign citizen Karen. So let's begin.
Friday morning on May 7th, around 10 o'clock, that I was peacefully exercising my constitutionally secured right to travel in my private automobile from place A to place B.
She's right. The Constitution does actually protect the right of the citizens to travel freely between the states. However, it does not protect the right of the citizens to be able to choose to use a motor vehicle when exercising their right to travel.
I was going for a meeting in the morning, and I was observing all the traffic lights, the speed limits, the stop signs, which, by the way, is not the law.
Wrong, Karen. Yeah, you have to follow speed limits, stop signs, stoplights, and all traffic laws, or you're gonna get your dumb ass fined and eventually arrested.
But as society and as a responsible and conscious American, of course I want to be safe, and I want to ensure that everyone around me is safe as well. So I'm very safe and good traveler.
It's just like a Karen to tell us that the only reason that she follows speed limits, stop signs, and other traffic laws is so that she can show society how polite and respectful she can be.
I know how to drive my car, although this is a legal term, okay? But this is what we are kind of using. So anyway, I have a constitutionally secured right as an American state national to travel in my private automobile, and I don't need to be licensed because I'm not operating a car. I am not doing business, so I'm not in commerce.
So this not in commerce argument is straight out of the Softardian Citizens Field Manual. And basically it goes, because I'm not in interstate commerce, I don't need a commercial driver's license. Which is true for the most part. But then the Softards conveniently forget that there's a 10th Amendment out there that gives the states the rights and powers to govern themselves for anything that's not expressly covered by the Constitution. And the right to operate a motor vehicle on public roadways is not expressly covered in the Constitution.
So you see, most people completely forgot, and they're not even aware that the right to travel in our private automobiles is a secured right under the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution, the Fifth Amendment, your right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
What the fuck? The Fifth Amendment covers due process of law, not the right to travel. Karen, you're an idiot.
So I was traveling peacefully in my private automobile, and out of nowhere I noticed a police car behind me, and he came really close, and then of course the red lights went on. And so, you know, I said, okay, well, I guess something must be wrong, so I pulled to the side. You see, the problem was, for the officer, he did not recognize my private plate with my diplomatic immunity, which is the Z stamp on it.
Oh my goodness. One does not give oneself diplomatic immunity, Karen, even if you have a Z stamp.
Who I truly am. So I kind of, you know, was aware of it. So that's why I pulled over and I stopped. But you see, the moment he actually put the red lights on, he created a false report of emergency, which is felony under the California Penal Code 148.3. Because he created a false report of emergency. There was no emergency. There was no one hurt. There was nothing happening. I was completely peacefully traveling without any damage, any loss, any injury. So I pulled the window down about 6 inches, and he came over, and I asked him, "Officer, what is the emergency?" And he told me, "You do not have a license, proper license plate on." And I explained to him, first of all, that he took an oath of office in performance of his duties, which is to uphold and defend the Constitution that secures my right. And one of those rights is my right to travel in my private automobile. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yes, Karen, you do have the right to travel. But if you're going to be doing that in an automobile, then whoever's operating it better have a driver's license. Okay, so she's about to quote 3 cases that she believes supports right to travel, and I'm going to quickly tell you why they don't.
So, here are some court rulings. The use of the highways for the purpose of travel and transportation is not a mere privilege, but a common and fundamental right of which the public and the individual cannot be rightfully deprived. Travel is not a privilege that can be permitted at will with forced insurances, registrations, licenses, but a common and fundamental right of liberty granted by the Constitution. This is a ruling Chicago Motor Coach Company versus City of Chicago, 337, Volume 3.
Chicago Motor Coach Company versus the City of Chicago was a public works case, not a right to travel case.
Another court ruling. To be free to travel throughout the length and breadth of our land uninhibited by statutes, rules, or regulations which unreasonably burden or restrain this movement. U.S. Supreme Court ruling Shapiro versus Thompson.
Shapiro vs. Thompson is kind of a rights to travel case, but it's more of a rights to welfare case. In Shapiro vs. Thompson, they found that certain states were having minimum residency requirements of about 1 year before new residents could have access to public welfare programs. And the Supreme Courts found that that action by the states discouraged new residents from wanting to move there, thus violating their right to freely travel. But it had nothing to do with the rights to operate a motor vehicle on public roadways, Karen.
Let's do another one. If the state does convert your rights into a privilege and issue a license and a fee for it, you can ignore the license and a fee and engage the right without impunity. Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham.
Come on, Karen. Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham is not a rights to travel case. It's a First Amendment case and a right to protest and assemble case.
And I can go on and on and on. I have a whole book of court rulings here to prove to you that traveling is our unalienable right secured to us under the Constitution.
The last thing I want in my life right now is to go through more court cases. Oh wait, we have a Nate.
Hey, my name is Nate the lawyer, and today we're going to talk about this sovereign citizen madness. Yes, I'm a real attorney. We are going to talk about why they get confused when it comes to the right to travel. Now, in the United States, there's a difference between having the right to travel and having the right to a specific mode of travel. You have the right to walk wherever you want, but you don't have a right to drive there, right? Because to drive, the state says, well, you need to have a driver's license, you need to have insurance, for the general welfare of the people in that state. So the law in the United States, all over the place, right, universally, understands that you have the fundamental right to travel. So this is where I come in. I found a case in which the court specifically talks about whether you have a fundamental right to drive versus a fundamental right to travel. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So you're looking at the case Miller v. Reed. This is a Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals case. Just for a little background, Miller is suing the state of California because Miller doesn't want to give his social security number for a license. And obviously you need a license to drive a car, so since Miller can't drive a car, he's saying that by the state not issuing him a driver's license, they are violating his fundamental right to travel under the U.S. Constitution. Now, he's also saying that there's a religious exemption here, but we really are focusing in on the right to travel. And let's see what the court says. Because just like in our case, where this woman is saying that, she was driving her car and she didn't have license, she didn't have proper license plate, she didn't have a license, she didn't have anything, right? She's driving her car and she has a right to drive her car because she says she's traveling. So let's see how this court handles that topic. Miller contends that the DMV violated his fundamental right to interstate travel by depriving him of the use of his primary means of travel, driving an automobile. Does this sound familiar? Miller provides no precedent supporting the contention that absent a lack of due process, denial of a driver's license is tantamount to a denial of a constitutional right. The Supreme Court recognized the fundamental right to interstate travel. Attorney General of New York versus Soto Lopez. She looked up that case. Burdens placed on travel generally, such as gasoline tax. Minor burdens impacting interstate travel, such as toll roads, do not constitute a violation of that right. So Miller does not allege that the primary objective of the California Vehicle Code is to impede interstate travel, or that section 1653.5's regulation of driver licensing treats interstate travelers differently than interstate travelers. Instead, because Miller cannot legally drive a car unless his driver's license is renewed, he argues that he has been deprived of an essential mode of transportation. And that's exactly what this woman is. She's saying that if she can't drive her car, it's an essential mode of transportation. Emphasizing the importance of automobiles in modern society, Miller contends that his right to interstate travel encompasses the fundamental right to drive a car. So here, the court has to deal with whether you have a fundamental right to drive a car. We have previously held that burdens on a single mode of transportation do not implicate the right of interstate travel, and they cite the case. A rich man can choose to drive a limousine. A poor man may have to walk. The poor man's lack of choice in the mode of travel may be unfortunate, but it is not unconstitutional. So this is for the proposition that the right to travel doesn't protect the mode of travel. So you don't have a right to fly a plane. You don't have a right to fly a helicopter. And you don't have a right to drive a car. The mode of travel, you don't have a right to, but you do have the right to travel. In another case, City of Houston versus the FAA, they quote, "At most, the air carrier's plaintiff argument reduces to the feeble claim that passengers have a constitutional right to the most convenient form of travel." This woman is saying she has a constitutional right to a car because it's more convenient for her. That notion, as any experienced traveler can attest, finds no support whatsoever in the Supreme Court's right to interstate travel jurisprudence or in the airline's own schedules. The court's being cheeky. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island, in a case, put it this way. The plaintiff's argument that the right to operate a motor vehicle is fundamental because of its relation to the fundamental right to interstate travel is utterly frivolous. The plaintiff is not being prevented from traveling interstate by public transportation, by common carrier, or a motor vehicle driven by someone who is licensed to drive it. What is at issue here is not the right to travel interstate, but the right to operate a motor vehicle on the public highway. And we have no hesitation in holding that this right is not fundamental. At the end, the court says, in sum, Miller does not have the fundamental right to drive a motor vehicle, and the DMV did not unconscionably impede his right to interstate travel by denying him a driver's license. So at the end of the day, we have a case here that is incredibly on point. The second highest court in the federal circuit is stating you do not have a fundamental right to drive, but you do have a fundamental right to travel. And that this woman's incident in which she was arrested for not having license plates, driver's license, and insurance is 100% legitimate under both the Constitution of the United States, the laws of that state, and the jurisprudence of the court. That's how you drop it. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and back to my man, Team Skeptic.
Thanks, Nate. And all of you guys need to head over to Nate the Lawyer's and subscribe to his channel while you're there. Links will be in the description. So let's continue.
So let me continue what happened. So I pulled the window down about 6 inches and I tried to explain to this officer. I even gave to him my right to travel card, which had some of the court rulings and everything. Well, he didn't like it.
Oh, yeah, sure, Karen. I'm sure the officer was just absolutely pleased that you gave him your right to travel card instead of the driver's license that you're required to have and the one that he asked you for.
So he demanded that I produce a driver's license and insurance, at which I knew that he doesn't know the law. But what do you do with an officer, with a man standing right next to your car who has guns?
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Right? So now it became a moment of coercion and intimidation. And I told him, I said, well, it's actually in the back of my car because, you know, the fact that I still keep it, Just in case, maybe I like to engage in commerce, maybe I like to do Ubering sometimes in the future.
Karen, do you not remember earlier in this very video where you said that following speed limits and stopping at stop signs is not a law? You do not need to be an Uber driver, Karen.
But it is not a contract. Okay, very important to remember, it is not a contract. So I told him that I can reach for it in a bag, to which he said, nope, you have to keep your hands on the wheel. Well, before you know, I was coerced that I have to step out of my car, out of my vehicle, out of the safety of my automobile, and I knew that I'm in danger.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then I can't help but ask the question, how do you possibly survive the perils of the parking lot when you have to get out of the safety of your private automobile so that you can go inside the nearest Trader Joe's and ruin some manager's day?
By many other deputies, and I'm a peace-loving and American. I don't want to fight, but I had no other choice. So this was absolutely armed coercion and intimidation. So I had to step outside of the safety of my property. I was immediately handcuffed. I was put behind my car. I was barefoot. I couldn't even put my shoes on. Had to spread my legs. Was searched unlawfully without a warrant. And then they kidnapped me and put me into the police car. And I was sitting there for an hour when they unlawfully searched my automobile without a warrant signed by a judge in a red ink.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Karen, but when you do stupid shit like create your own diplomatic license plates and put them on your car and drive around, you put yourself in a position to have your car searched without the need for a search warrant signed by a judge in red ink. Where the fuck that means.
And then when I was released, the supervisors came and I talked to them. Everything they are doing, that this is a deprivation of rights under color of law. Title 18, USC 242, and because it was now more than one officer there, now it's conspiracy of deprivation of rights under color of law. Title 18, USC 241.
It goes without saying that your right to travel freely between the states is suspended when you're detained, arrested, or incarcerated.
And this is high crimes. So I informed them of what's going on. I got my citation for all kinds of things, of producing false information, not having my license plate on, which is marked for misdemeanor. Okay? But they were so wrong. They were so wrong, and they did wrong to me. So what I did, instead of, because as I said, I'm peace-loving American who knows her rights and who knows that our rights are secured to us by the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution. And so what I did was I had no other choice but serve the officer with my declaration of truth under oath.
So now we get the pleasure of listening to her read off all the charges she intends on bringing up against this officer. And I'm just going to ring the dinger every time she says something stupid.
And what he got served was with perjury of oath, violation due process, along with trespass upon my rights to be secure in my property, my automobile, trespass upon my rights to my private property, that he restrict my movement, kidnap me, hold me hostage, imprison me, unlawful imprison me in his police car, assaulted me, bothered me, tortured me by isolating me from others, sent other people acting under his order to trespass upon me on his behalf, investigate me without lawful proof of probable cause on the suspect basis of unlawful conduct, conducted an invalid, unlawful investigation of me absent proper constitutionally compliant due process of law, as he is ordered and all the other deputies were, that he subjected me of intimidation and coercion, along with all the deputies, that he intimidated me and coerced me under color of law, which opposes due process and other rights guaranteed to me in the constitutions, national and state, as was done to me by his and his deputies on the above referent Friday morning. He also and all the officers engaged in racketeering, engaged in conspiracy, and despite his lack of constitutional authority, he committed all of those unconstitutional violations against me. And thereby perjured his oath, along with all the deputies that were present. And he has 20 days to respond to it.
Yeah, okay, Karen. I would say I'd love to see what the officer's reaction is when he receives your bullshit paperwork, but I already know exactly how he's gonna react.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! No! That is not happening right now! No! You literally, this is the best thing ever!
And this is a lawful declaration, and it is a fraud if people of authority do not respond to it. It's acquiescence not to respond when there is duty to respond.
Let's also not forget the duty of the person who's suing the officer to properly serve him. Because as it looks right now, it appears as if you tried to serve him, which you know you can't do, right? You can't serve the person you're trying to sue because it represents a conflict of interest. You have to get a third party that has no ties to the case whatsoever. And if you want to do it by certified mail like you're trying to do it, then you do realize that the officer has to agree in advance to make your life easier while you actively make his life harder. I'm gonna chalk that up in the shit that never happened, Karen.
And I will be reporting more because now, we will see what the court does with that. If the case even goes on the docket with the court. Because now I have an admission from the officer that he did that without rebuttal, which is his confession.
Well, you heard it here first, all you criminal prosecutors out there. If you're trying a case and you need an easy confession, just give your declaration of truth under oath, send it off by certified mail, and if the defendant doesn't respond in 20 days, well, there's your confession.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Okay, so I think this is going to be where we end the video today. Lenka Coloma is just one of many anti-mask Karens who have turned around and gone full sovereign citizen domestic terrorist Karens. And I'm going to be there to stop them every step of the way. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. If you found this video interesting or entertaining, then give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to check the link in the description to head over to Nate the Lawyer's channel and subscribe to him as well. And a special and massive shout out to all of my channel members and patrons whose support helps me keep doing what I love to do. Calling out idiots on the internet. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.
You shut the f*** up, you stupid slut! Do you think I honestly give a f*** about who the f*** you are? 'Cause I don't!
Hey guys, and welcome to today's YouTube Idiots video. In today's video, we'll be covering two videos from the same channel, I Am the Troll. Now on his channel, he videotapes himself repossessing people's buildings, so he deals with a lot of Karens. So put on your cowboy hat, grab a 6-pack of beer, and let's begin.
care.
Do you see that?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you see that no trespassing
Go
sign?
sit down on the porch.
No, we don't care. Are you gonna make me?
Yeah.
Do it.
You see that right there?
Sheriff's on the way.
Okay.
Are you gonna make
And
me
just
go
like
sit
the
on the
sheriff
porch?
said, y'all can't take it till the owner gets here.
Perfect.
Now, a lot of you guys out there know that I grew up in Texas, so listening to country bumpkins like this talk is way too familiar. And there's only one song that could bring this all together.
The actual sheriff shows up. Shut the fuck up. Oh, what the fuck? Wait. Excuse me? You stupid.
She's a female.
Hey, he's 17. Get off the phone. Get off.
Hillbilly Karens. Am I right?
Because it's not worth my time to go to court over your ass.
But you hit me in the nose twice.
No, I
My
didn't.
sister.
Oh, you can drop the language with my mother.
Okay. You're not dropping the language with me, so don't expect me to
Because
drop the
you
language
hit
with
my
you.
mother in the
No,
nose.
I've not hit her. You're lying to me.
I'm lying.
And you know it.
I'm lying.
Yes, you're lying.
I'm lying.
Yes.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be talking to him. I don't.
I'm gonna get it.
Shut up! Shut up! Well, don't talk to him back. He's a juvenile.
Is that your van over there?
Yes, it is.
Get it and leave.
You shut the fuck up, you stupid slut! Do you think I honestly give a fuck about who the fuck you are? 'Cause I don't!
Now I am become
Karen,
the destroyer of worlds.
Looks good on camera.
Please don't keep on with me, Randy, 'cause I swear to God, I've been gotten to one fucking fight down. I'm scared to get into another.
Go ahead.
Where'd you go?
I'm here. You can hit me.
Why would I
Okay, that's provoking somebody, so keep going.
No, I'm.
Hold up, Karen. You think he's the one that's provoking anything when your inbred sister cousin just got through screaming in his face and calling him a stupid slut? Which isn't even really an insult to begin with.
Why should I hit somebody? That's not worth my fucking time.
Let's get this thing together. I completely gave you the permission to hit me, so you're not gonna go to jail if you hit me.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see the photo. So if the cops come or what?
I ain't got no fucking reports. That's the bitch ain't getting a gun.
Did you call the cops? No. Call the fucking cops. This is goddamn rich. That's all the fuck we need. All right.
Now!
We've been through this before.
You ain't talked to me, you sorry son of a bitch. Now get off my property.
I am the troll. You better watch the fuck out. Grandma Karen McSnaggletooth doesn't sound like she's fucking playing around.
You're still on my fucking property. Bye!
Get off the property like she said.
I'm here. All right.
My brother
I'm on.
is not.
Okay, I
Get off the
understand.
property.
You understand whose building that is?
That's my brother's right now.
No, it's
so
not
get
his
off the
building. No, it
property.
is not his building.
Until
This
he
is
gets-
my building. All right, and I have court documents to prove it. And if you want to go to
in your name.
no, it's not. Is
So
that
get the
house
fuck
in your
off the
name?
property.
No, it's not. But this is my
okay.
uncle's house.
All right, that's fine.
And there's a no trespassing sign
Okay,
right over there.
I understand that.
I am so confused as to why these Karens think that a $1.99 no trespassing sign that they probably bought from their local Piggly Wiggly is sufficient enough to keep a repo officer from entering onto their land and repossessing their unpaid property. These hillbillies are single-digit IQ points personified.
We've done
I have
told you to
permission
get the
to be
fuck
here.
off the property.
I have permission to
No,
be
you
here.
don't.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do have permission
No, you
to
do
be
not.
here.
The property.
I have permission signed for that building.
They might have signed for that,
Okay.
but we live here.
All right, I
We
get
do
that.
not have to let you back there.
Yes, you do.
No,
I
we do
don't.
not.
Yes, you do.
No,
How
we
do you
do
know
not.
that?
Let's see. Maybe because we've went through this like 3 times.
Wait, are you saying they've come to repossess that shed 3 different times and you still haven't paid your bills? Karen, you're an idiot.
And we've done talk to
Okay,
this company.
last time we went through this, I told
that's
them.
last time.
Okay, exactly. I
That's
told
last
them.
time.
I told
That
them.
is last time.
I told them I'm
That
gonna
is
go
last
get
time.
court documents and we're gonna go legal on this, which is exactly what I did.
But my sister-in-law was telling you to get off the property and you hit me in the face. So bitch,
No,
go
I
ahead.
didn't. No, I did not hit
Do you
you.
want me to?
No, I did not hit you.
You ignorant fuck! I'm goddamn got papers to say I'm retarded.
What the fuck? Did she just say that she has paperwork that says she's retarded?
We've asked y'all to get off the property until the owner gets here.
We don't have to do that.
Yes, you do.
You're
No.
taking my shit down, so,
What?
excuse me?
Do you know what I do for a living?
Do you think I give a fuck?
No, Karen. Nobody thinks you actually give a fuck about anything in life, especially being a model citizen or paying your bills on time.
I know you don't give up.
I can tell you what I do for a living.
Okay.
Would that make a damn bit of difference?
No, it doesn't.
How would you like it if I come knocked in your fucking front door and said your ass is going to jail?
You serious?
Okay, so that's the end of the first video. Now it's time for the second video. So let's continue. Aw yes, the classy Karen, letting us know what her IQ is before we get into the heart of the video.
You're gonna hit me?
Okay,
You touched
me. You just fucking
No, I
touched
didn't
me.
touch you.
Yeah,
I
you
have it right
did.
here. You're not hitting me.
You just squished my fucking fingers in the door.
Well, if you wouldn't have put your fingers in the door in the first place, then they probably wouldn't have been smashed. And I'm sure by now they look like swollen hot dogs that were overcooked in a George Foreman grill.
Yeah, you did. Move.
You're touching my property.
And my property's in this fucking building. It will take 10 fucking minutes to get my goddamn rings out of here.
Getting in there.
Let go of it. Now. You're messing with the wrong fucking bitch.
Yeah, okay, Karen. If I only had a dime for every time a Karen said, "You're messing with the wrong bitch," or "Let me speak to your supervisor because I'm going to get you fired," I'd be able to fix the gap in my teeth and learn how to say antenna right.
Call the fucking cops. Call them.
I don't need to.
Yeah, you do.
I
We'll
got
stay
this
here all
handled.
fucking day.
I got this handled.
We'll stay here all day.
Okay.
So move.
I don't need to move.
Move.
No.
Read your shirt. Move.
I'm not moving.
I
I'm not
said
allowing.
fucking move.
Holy shit. Am I the only one that thinks that this Karen looks exactly like a fucking blobfish? Now, I'm not trying to be mean, but look at the similarities on screen. Karen, do you think you look like a blobfish?
And I'm
Yes.
not allowing you to damage my
Yes.
building. No.
Well, you went on my property without permission,
I had permission.
so you didn't.
Written by you and signed by you.
Where's it at?
I have it in my contract.
Where's it at?
I don't need to show it to you. You signed it. You have a copy of it. You can
No,
go
I
look
don't.
at it.
Let me have it.
I don't need to show it to you.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go on my property when it says private property.
I can
That's
go on
the
there.
law.
You signed the permission slip for me to do everything that I did.
Call the cops.
I don't
My
need-
car's not moving.
I don't need to call the cops.
Okay, well, go around. You go around.
So just to give you guys a little insight into the situation, this Karen was driving down one side of the highway when she saw her repossessed shed coming down the other side of the highway and decided to cut over and block her shed. And now she's trying to play the traffic cop and tell other cars to just drive around. Karen, you don't make a good traffic cop, but if somebody stuck a pole up your ass, you'd make one hell of a stop sign.
We'll call them.
TikTok's gonna love this.
Fuck TikTok. Fuck you, TikTok. Bunch of young little pussies anyway. That's all y'all are.
Now, I don't want to speak for the young pussies on TikTok, but the grown-ass adults here on YouTube are laughing at your dumb ass.
Oh, y'all Karens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got all day. I get paid to stand here. So
I got all
don't-
day
I don't give a
too.
shit.
I got all day too.
All right, cool.
So, you can look at me, I'll look at you.
Hey, that's fine.
Okay.
You just up to my pay by coming here and doing what you did. So
That's fine.
I ain't mad.
I'm
gonna sit
sure.
here. I'm gonna sit
I'm
here.
sure. Let me have it. A bit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly right.
You got the wrong fucking Karen. Oh.
She just said, "You got the wrong fucking Karen." You can't make this shit up, guys.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. I know what's going to happen when I leave here.
Go ahead. Don't give a shit what you do.
No, I'm not saying I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to go with this building and the stuff that's in it.
All you had to do was let me get 10 wreaths out of my building.
No, not the way
That's
you're
all I
acting, not
asked.
the way you're acting.
Now, if you ain't from the South, then you probably don't realize how important arts and crafts are to hillbilly Karens. My recommendation to I Am the Troll is to just let this Karen have her wreath before she bites your head off and swallows it whole.
Why don't you go get a 6-pack of beer real quick?
Do what?
Why don't you go get a 6-pack of beer real quick?
Why?
We can sit on some buckets and just drink some beer and think about it.
Now, I ain't here to shame anybody, but I am a realist. And if you're gonna drink a 6-pack of beer while you sit on some buckets, you better make sure the beer's cold and the buckets are made of adamantium.
What's this shit made out of, anyway? Steel?
And I already talked to her about all this.
I know what I can and what I can't do, and what I can't do is let you go in there and get the stuff.
You can have everything else in there.
You
All I
can
want
have
is the
every.
wreaths
I don't
that I
want.
made.
I don't want anything in there. It's all going to be at the lot, and it's going to be there for 2 weeks. It's just as easy to go to the lot. It's right down the street.
Mr. Teller!
Surprise, surprise. Karen knows the cop by name. Fucking idiot. Okay, so I think this is going to be where we end the video today. The lessons we should learn from this video is incest is bad, and if you really value your arts and crafts, then don't store them in a shed you have no intention of paying for. Otherwise, you're an idiot. Alright guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you found this video interesting or entertaining, then give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And a massive shout out to all of my channel members and patrons whose support helps me keep doing what I love to do, calling out idiots on the internet. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.
We're in Placerville, California.
You shut the f up!
Hey guys, and welcome to today's COVID Karen video. Today's video covers a recent town hall meeting that took place in Palm Beach County, Florida on June 23rd, 2020, where a herd of COVID Karens, along with a few of their best chads, showed up to express their outrage about the new mask requirement laws. Keep in mind, these Karens are pushing for little to no restrictions, even though Florida just had a rash of new cases. Now this council meeting lasted 6 hours, with the COVID Karens dominating the first 3 hours of it. So I've gone ahead and pulled out everything except for the really stupid parts. And if you want to torture yourself and watch the rest of the dum-dums, then I'll put a link in the description. So let's begin.
This mask mandate today, you are purposely taking food off of my children's plate. My options are already limited, and I'll quote you, Miss McKinley. You said if you don't like the rules, shop somewhere else.
Yes, that's a very good point. If you don't like the rules, shop somewhere else.
Well, after today, I won't have that option anymore because I am discriminated on every single time I tell somebody that I have a medical condition that does not allow me to wear a mask.
Then order your Big Mac through Uber Eats and order your groceries through Amazon. You can do all that from the comfort of your double-wide trailer. But what you can't do is go out in public and put other people's lives at risk unnecessarily. And another thing, being a fucking idiot is not a medical condition.
Because if you do vote to mandate masks in the workplace, in public, in schools or stores, the death of many will be on your hands.
Karen, masks don't kill people, you fucking idiot.
Voting yes to mask mandates makes no scientific sense.
Yeah, maybe, if you're a Facebook scientist. But the overwhelming majority of actual scientists who have actual education all know exactly why wearing a mask makes sense.
My concern, since I do have a medical condition.
Of course you do. It's called Karenitis, and you should really go get that checked out.
That I cannot wear a mask, you are taking food away from my table. Will businesses set a special hour for those unable to wear a mask?
That's a good point. And yes, several businesses are setting aside shopping hours for senior citizens and people who have medical conditions. But that doesn't mean that you can use those times to go do your shopping without a mask. The idea is to separate those people from the rest, not to explicitly expose at-risk citizens to COVID Karen idiots.
I was born and raised in this country, and I'm very sad to see the authorities stomping on our constitutional rights.
I'm sorry, but did somebody lose their grandma?
And they want to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door.
God's wonderful breathing system. Now that's an oxymoron. I wonder if she's ever considered why God's wonderful breathing system is right next to God's wonderful eating system, putting us at risk of choking every time we eat.
When you wear a mask, the nose is cut off, the mouth is cut off, and you're breathing carbon dioxide over and over and over again. You're not getting the fresh oxygen that God intended.
Well, God didn't intend on your body getting oxygen. Evolution did that. And as I stated in my last Karen video, every time you inhale, you breathe in carbon dioxide, and every time you exhale, you breathe out oxygen. So either God's not very efficient, or you lot of Karens are a bunch of fucking idiots.
According for the FDA, intended for medical purpose means the device is intended for the diagnosis of disease or other conditions in the cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of disease. Therefore, it meets the definition of a medical device.
And your point is, by your flawed interpretation, an over-the-counter thermometer would be considered a medical device.
As such, this board has no authority for medical treatment or prevention of the disease because you have no license to practice medicine. That is under statute 381, and that is up to the Surgeon General.
Some masks are medical devices and some aren't, but the board is under no obligation to ignore the medical advice from medical professionals when establishing regulations that ensure public health. In fact, since most of them aren't medical professionals, it would be wise of them to take the advice of medical professionals and completely ignore the COVID Karen idiots in the room.
Why are not one of you mentioning from this commission or health department about boosting our immune system using zinc, vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin C, which are all proven to reduce ICU visits by 80%?
Citation fucking needed. In fact, no, I don't even need a citation to know that that's bullshit. How does one quantify the percentage of ICU visits that were reduced by taking multivitamins? And I wouldn't be surprised to find out that she squirts peppermint essential oils up her ass just to prevent her from getting corona. These Karens are fucking ridiculous and total fucking idiots.
We will get together and do a citizen's arrest on every single human being that goes against the freedom of choice.
I'm sure you've seen this clip already. This Karen is psycho, and she is literally ready to citizens arrest everyone who's wearing a mask.
Okay? You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people. It literally is killing people.
No, it's not, Karen. The only people dying from wearing a mask are those people who are stupid enough to believe that the air trapped inside the mask will let them breathe underwater. You're a fucking idiot.
And we the people are waking up, and we know what citizen's arrest is, because citizen's arrests are already happening.
I used to date a chick like this Karen. She would always wag her finger at people and say, "You can't talk to me like that, I'm gonna call the cops." And the ultimate Karen line, "Let me speak to your manager." I ended up dumping her ass, and she called my mother to file a complaint.
okay? And every single one of you that are obeying the devil's laws are going to be arrested.
Again, more Karen talk that doesn't make any fucking sense. What the fuck are devil's laws? And what statute would the city council members be arrested under? Karen, put that finger back in the hole you pulled it out of and sit the fuck down. You are a fucking idiot.
And you, doctor, are going to be arrested for crimes against humanity. Every single one of you have a smirk behind that little mask, but every single one of you are going to get punished by God. You cannot escape God.
If you're one of the city council members and you're watching, just know this. In the entire history of Karens threatening vengeance with God, not a single person has ever suffered an injury. You guys will be fine. And Karen is a fucking idiot.
You cannot escape God. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot escape God, not even with the mask or 6 feet.
Oh yeah? Well, what about 10 feet? I'm sure if I had 10 feet, I could probably escape God.
Okay? 6 feet, like I said before, is military protocol. You're trying to get the people to train them so when the cameras, the 5G comes out, what? They're gonna scan everybody. We gotta get scanned, we gotta get temperatured.
What the fuck? How does one get temperatured? Now this Karen is hitting all of the conspiracies. 5G, face scanning, New World Order. Hey Karen, what else are you afraid of?
What happened to Bill Gates? Why is he not in jail? Why is Hillary Clinton not in jail? Why are all of these pedophiles that are demanding you all to listen to their rules, why are they not in jail? Oh, is it because you're part of them? Are you part of the deep
Your
state?
time has expired.
The deep state is going down. And if any of you are in the deep state, you're going down with it.
Karen, you're a fucking idiot.
Where do you derive the authority to regulate human breathing?
Now this has to be the dumbest question of the day. They aren't regulating your breathing, you moron.
And God gave us the very breath that we are to breathe.
This whole God gave me shit is a common theme with Karen. If God gave you the ability to breathe, then guess what? He gave you the ability to easily choke to death too.
And ma'am, as a doctor, I really have many question marks about your degrees and what you really know, because what you say is the political dogma that they're trying to shove down our throats.
I find that highly hypocritical, since you're up there in a Trump shirt clearly pushing political dogma yourself. Pot, meet kettle. And she's a fucking idiot.
I've been a music teacher for 23 years. I need you to tell me, how do I play a saxophone and sing with a mask on? I'll let you think about that.
This is what happens when Karen meets common sense. No fucking shit you can't play an instrument with a mask on. You can't eat a hamburger, drink from a straw, or do cocaine either. But seriously, of all the dumbass Karens that showed up, this idiot was the only one who made a valid point. Because you can't play a saxophone with the mask on.
Okay, so first of all, we live in a republic, a democratic republic, not a democracy. Commissioner Valichet, I appreciate what you said about the WHO.
You can tell when someone knows exactly what the fuck they're talking about when they call the World Health Organization, or WHO, the WHO. Fucking idiot.
An opinion is not science. It's not science. As much as you can't just keep saying things and expect them to be true.
Yeah, opinions are not science. And this is both true and hypocritical at the same time, since she's up there taking a limited spot to speak away from a medical professional in order to express her ignorant-ass opinions. Sit down, Karen. You're an idiot.
People like me who have the medical condition are not going to suddenly start wearing them because you mandate them. I'm actually going to get discriminated against everywhere I go, even more than I already am, and have to tell everybody everywhere I go all about my personal medical information.
I find it funny that ever since COVID-19 broke out, it seems as though every Karen in the world has a medical condition that keeps her from wearing a mask. Karen, if you can't wear a mask, then stay the fuck home.
And Dr. Alonso brings up the idea of enforcement and education. The problem is that you're not allowing the minority viewpoint to be heard, whether it's at the national level or here at the local level.
Yeah, Chad, it's almost as if medical science is not based on an opinion, and it's not a topic that's up for debate and vote.
And as a minority viewpoint in my profession, why I became a holistic veterinarian was...
A holistic veterinarian. So you're not even a real veterinarian. Well, that says everything we need to know about this idiot.
The other thing I want to say is one of the commissioners, brought up about being in an operating room and having why surgeons wear masks. Well, I'll tell you that in veterinary medicine, most general veterinary medical practices throughout this country, most general surgeons don't wear masks.
No way, Chad. It's almost as if operating on humans and operating on animals have different regulations. But if animals could vote, I'm sure they'd have their Karens and Chads too. And those Karens and Chads would be at town hall meetings as well, arguing for their right to kill other members of their species.
You do not have the authority to govern my body.
What? Do these Karens actually think that wearing a mask requires them to involuntarily shove it up their asses first? No. Wearing a mask is not an infringement of your rights, and it sure as fuck isn't the government governing your body, Karen. You're an idiot.
For the record, we've been harassed, defamed, humiliated, discriminated, called anti-maskers, maskless bandits, grandma killers. Does that sound like public health to you?
Nope. Sounds like well-deserved ridicule to me. Maybe if you were following the rules like everyone else, you wouldn't be having these issues. Maybe, just maybe, if these Karens weren't so selfish and anti-communal, we would have already had a hold of this virus and nobody would be making fun of you for your dumbass beliefs. Karen, you're an idiot.
I'm certainly not a medical professional, but I would just like to appeal to common sense.
Remind me again how much medical education and training you have? Oh, that's right. So what's common sense to a doctor is 6 additional years of education to a Karen. However, these dumb shits think that their 2 months of Facebook research is above and beyond anything that Johns Hopkins University will ever be able to put out. Fucking idiots.
I do know that I was born in the United States and I'm a free citizen. Not only that, I'm a citizen of heaven.
Karen, that doesn't logically make sense. If you're a resident of heaven, then that means you're no longer a resident of earth, which means you died, you idiot.
And I will not tolerate putting a muzzle on my mouth to keep me from speaking to people, to keep me from them seeing my smile.
Thanks, but no thanks, Karen. I'm good on the smile. I'd rather you muzzle the fuck up and not get me or anyone else sick. And thanks in advance, you idiot.
Okay, this is our right to not wear anything to cover our faces or hold our breath and get sick. Because I work in the healthcare professional.
Oh, fuck. You work in the healthcare professional? As what, a fucking janitor? Please, for the love of the spaghetti monster, tell me that you're joking. And if you're not, do us all a favor and quit. People like this Karen should not be ensuring the health and wellness of anyone.
Sometimes I can't tell if a person's happy, sad, angry, or even recognizable. So if I can't able to distinguish, how are children going to be able to distinguish that?
Good point. Except you forgot to take into account that your child isn't going to be able to read any expressions off of Grandma's face because you team killed her with your refusal to wear a mask. Put on a mask and don't be an idiot.
Hi, I'm Karen Holm.
No fucking way. A Karen that's actually named Karen. This is like opening up a Cracker Jack box and finding a live Cracker Jack at the bottom.
In short, this isn't about a virus, it's about your attempt to take authority that you don't have. Some of you might be squirming, and it's like a high school drama queen who hasn't got voted for the homecoming court. But I'm sorry about your discomfort, but you don't have the authority to make mandatory masks.
And true to form, this Karen thinks that your rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness should be put on hold so that she can put everyone else in danger. Karen, you're an idiot.
Does anyone care about the 888 petitions Palm Beach County residents collected in only 5 days?
Nope. No one cares.
Or about the $5,000 I raised in 24 hours to file suit in Orange County yesterday?
Still, no one fucking cares, Karen.
Does anyone care about preserving the liberty of the people who pay your salaries?
That's the entire point of this discussion, Karen. Protecting the rights of the public as a whole, not to make sure that everyone's individual wants are met at the expense of the general public's needs. If this were the case, then each human would have their own individual laws that they abide and only applies to them. They have a word for that, Karen. It's called anarchy. And you're an idiot.
I'm not a medical professional, but I represent people who have been harmed by medical professionals.
So another Chad who thinks his lack of medical expertise is a perfect qualification for him to be speaking on medical topics. Idiot.
You'll see signs around here that say vaccines are known to cause seizures, encephalitis, and autoimmunity. That's not my beliefs. Those are just facts, scientifically provable facts.
Yeah, scientifically proven to be false. And it makes sense that anti-vaxxers would team up with anti-maskers to create the ultimate team-killing force that urgently needs to be dealt with. So my new focus for the time being will be to bring down these absolute pseudoscientific idiots before they kill too many of our fellow humans.
I live around the world. I've faced many pandemics, many viruses my entire life. It's the first time I had to wear that because of you guys.
You can't visit a pandemic, Chad. And the only virus that you're visiting is in a back alley brothel in Boys Town. You're an idiot.
Never did I expect to go to the bank with the mask on and demand my money and then get away with it.
Well, Karen, I guarantee that you didn't walk into the bank with a mask on and demand money. You filled out a withdrawal slip like everyone else. You waited in line like everyone else, and they gave you your money like everyone else. The only difference that you may have had with this experience is that you had to wear a mask over your face holes. But that is to prevent the spread of a deadly pathogen. What do you not get about that?
Mayor, you continue to say there's some obvious disagreement on the public policy. The disagreement is between the government having zero authority to manage my medical privacy, my medical and bodily autonomy, the signs of health risks from wearing masks, versus kindness. As Mayor Kerner said, the board has adopted the prevailing policy to stop the spread as an act of kindness.
Calm down, Karen, and don't interpret their kindness for weakness. The council members consider it kind to protect the communal majority from the minority of anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers like you idiots.
This council is approving orders based on kindness.
Holy fuck. I bet this Karen doesn't have a single loved one at home. Just 75 cats and a bunch of birds. I mean, it takes a real piece of shit to get this angry over people being kind to one another.
This will go on forever. This is a virus. This isn't going to go away.
Wrong again, Karen. The smallpox virus was completely eradicated from the human population for one reason and one reason alone: vaccines.
Even if we get a vaccine, only 40% of people get the flu vaccine. You're not going to be able to do that. People are going to refuse the vaccine.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that a small percentage of subhumans are going to need someone close to them to die before they realize the importance of vaccines.
Somebody was talking about not quoting WHO because they've been kind of wishy-washy.
Who? Oh, you mean the WHO, you unintelligent, uninformed idiot?
You yourselves are quoting the CDC, who has been just as wishy-washy, if not more so, than the WHO. And you are still quoting them and saying that you should wear a mask. That is actually not what they're saying.
You don't have any medical experience, and you don't even know how to pronounce their acronym right. You have no idea what they are saying, other than the general summation that was probably given to you by a fellow Facebook user. But here you are, standing up to science with your stupidity and giving the most comical reasons for not wearing a mask.
At the end, I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
And you are a fucking idiot.
I'm not a medical doctor. I'm here today as a business owner. I don't own a nightclub. I own a firearms business. Now, I think you might agree with me that it would be ludicrous for me to allow someone into my shop to purchase a firearm who's wearing a mask, whose face I cannot see. Really, with everyone's wearing a mask, you can't tell who are the good guys and who are the bad guys.
Wait, are you saying that only good people don't wear masks and only bad people do wear masks? And that all you need to do is look at them to see if they're wearing a mask to tell the difference? Karen, you're an idiot. And you better hope that your business model is fluid enough to accommodate any federal, state, or municipal laws that may go into effect requiring your customers to wear a mask in public.
Masks are meant to be worn for sick people.
Oh, Karen, do you even know what asymptomatic means? It means that you're sick and you're not showing any symptoms. And even if you're not showing symptoms, you can still be spreading the disease. That's why it's so important for everyone to be wearing a mask in public until we have a reliable way of dealing with this pandemic.
Okay, the Declaration of Independence, our rights as Americans, is we have the freedom to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
What do you think happens when one person's right to pursue happiness interferes with another person's right to pursue happiness? For instance, let's say it makes me happy to take all of your money for myself and move into your house. Why should I not be allowed to do that? Because my pursuit of happiness, taking all your money and moving into your home, interferes with your pursuit of happiness, being broke as fuck and homeless. Same thing goes for masks. You idiots think it's your right to end the pursuit of happiness for the vast majority of the public because you don't want to wear a mask. Well, eat shit.
Liberty is the power to do as one pleases, to live my life in the way I want to without interference from others or authorities.
But you still have failed to answer one question. If you don't think the government has the right to take away your liberties, then why do you think you have the right to take away the liberties from the public majority?
We are a land of home of the brave, land of the free. Thank you.
And that was a worded poorly very sentence. Karen, are an idiot fucking you?
That's right. We have rights, and this has just gone too far. I have to leave. I sat in here. This is the third day I'm here waiting all day. I have to leave a 91-year-old mother to come here and stand up for what's right. Shame on you.
No, Karen. Shame on you for leaving an elderly person who, given your context, is in need of your assistance. And for what? To spit a bunch of non-facts and Facebook memes at the council members? This issue is to help preserve the lives of the public, and it especially includes people like your mother who are 91 years old. So act responsibly, put a mask on, and stop being a fucking idiot.
I also heard you say this is a democracy, and I'm sick and tired of hearing you say that. It's a republic.
Actually, Karen, it's a democratic republic, where certain laws are made democratically and other laws are made by democratically elected officials. But something tells me that these officials weren't Trump enough to be voted in by these Karens. Fucking idiots. Okay, so I think this is going to be where we end the video today. It's quite clear that these Chads and Karens have absolutely no fucking idea what they're talking about, and their Facebook research has failed them once again. And if you're curious as to how the vote turned out, well,
the public health will always prevail. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? That motion passes 7-0. The Board of County Commissioners will be in recess for 10 minutes, and we will reconvene at 1:02. Thank you, everybody.
Human beings 1, COVID Karen idiots 0. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. If you found this video entertaining or interesting and you want to do your part in stopping COVID Karen, then be sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And a massive shout out to all of my channel members and patrons whose support helps me keep. Hey guys, and welcome to today's COVID Karen video. In today's video, we have two completely different Karens freaking out at the exact same Trader Joe's in California on two completely different days. Now you might be asking yourself, why am I wearing this mask while I'm recording? And what's going on with this video in the top corner? Well, quite simply, I'm tired of Karen saying that wearing a mask will kill you, and I'm here to show you exactly how harmless it is to wear a mask. So while I'm recording this video, I'll have a second camera recording me from start to finish with no cuts, showing the entire process where I don't take off the mask not one single time. I also have this pulse oximeter, which will be reading my oxygen saturation levels in my blood, and I'll be showing those readings to you throughout the process. The video in the top corner will be playing in fast forward, but I'll be posting the full-length regular speed version to my gaming channel, Team Skeptic After Dark. So if you want to go there and watch all the bloopers, or just to make sure that I didn't fake it in any way with clever cuts, then a link will be in the description. So let's begin. The first Karen we're going to be discussing today comes from a recent video that was taken at Trader Joe's, and it's a short one. In this video, a Karen was approached by a customer and asked why she was not wearing a mask while she was shopping around other customers. And of course, like all Karens, this Karen also had a breathing problem that didn't allow her to wear a mask, but totally didn't prohibit her from yelling loudly at other customers and looking like an ass.
I have a breathing problem. My doctor would not let me wear a mask. So anyone harassing me to wear a mask, you guys are violating federal law. You get that? Get that on camera. Ma'am.
Karen, you're an idiot. Anyone can ask you about your medical condition. There is no federal law that prohibits them from asking you, just like there's no federal law that tells you that you must answer them. If someone asks you about your medical condition and you don't want to say anything, tell them to fuck off and keep moving. Now that's all for this Karen. I only wanted to bring up her video because the next video we're about to talk about takes place in the exact same Trader Joe's. It's almost as if the mutation that causes normal people to become Karens is also responsible for their magnetic-like attraction to Trader Joe's. I should warn you ahead of time to remove all sharp objects from reach and definitely get yourself some facepalm protection because you're about to deal with some next level stupid when it comes to this Karen.
Look me up, Genevieve Peters. Let me know how you're feeling about all this. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the greatest president ever in America. And I'll turn to your hat because that's what it's all about, baby. Trump 2020. Bam, bam!
Now, I'm no political historian or anything like that, and I try not to make political statements on my channel. But god damn it, Karen, have you never heard of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or John F. Kennedy? Seriously, you are an idiot.
So they're literally calling the police on me because I am not putting this mask on.
Why aren't you wearing the mask?
It's unhealthy for me. I don't want to breathe my own CO2.
It's not unhealthy for you, Karen. And they're not calling the police on you for refusing to put on a mask. They're calling the police on you because you're being a dumbass idiot and a public nuisance.
There's many researchers. No, I'm not going to do that. There's many researchers. No, I'm not, because you know what? Because they're bogus rules.
Whether the rules are bogus or not is not up for you to decide. They're still rules, and either follow them or leave. The era of the customer always being right is coming to an end, and COVID Karen idiots are directly responsible.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just saying, no, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There's so much research that says that we actually are in danger of having this mask.
No, Karen. Outside of Facebook, there's no actual research that suggests that wearing a mask alone can do any significant harm to humans. In fact, all major medical institutions say that anyone over the age of 2 will be generally safe from harm due to wearing a mask. You made that shit up, Karen, and you sound like an idiot.
I'm breathing my own CO2. Do you understand that? No, I'm not endangering you because I'm a healthy person. Okay, yes you do. No, I'm not endangering your crew because I'm a healthy human being.
Karen, you're a fucking idiot. There are asymptomatic people who can spread the disease without even knowing about it. Not to mention, and this is the part that really pisses me off, 1 week later after this incident, she posted a video to her channel where she talked about having a sore throat and an infection that felt like it was spreading into her lymph nodes. The video has since been deleted, but I did find this clip on the Young Turks.
To just do a little bit of a live to update you. Yesterday, I let you guys know that I had a sore throat and it was feeling like it was going into my lymph nodes. There was zero panic. Zero panic. Why? Because I'm healthy. healthy people can get sick. The most important thing is that our body is equipped for that. It has what we call an immune system. And so when I was feeling sick yesterday, I knew that all I had to do was boost my immune system.
Karen, you have no idea how the immune system works. You don't know whether you're healthy or not. You're not a doctor. You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, so, and I actually had this.
Put that shit away, Karen. And what the fuck is up with all these idiots wearing sunglasses inside of the store? I know. She has a hypersensitivity to the LED lights on the honey bun aisle.
And I said, no, I'm not going to put it on. I'm not going to do this. Okay, the only reason I even had this on is because they wouldn't even let me in the store. They literally locked the door. They wouldn't even let me in the store.
So let me get this straight. You were well aware of the rules regarding shopping inside. You put on a mask so you could get in the front door, and then you figured you'd break the rules because you were already inside? Fuck off, Karen. Society is finally getting tired of you idiots who are constantly subverting the rules that the rest of us find acceptable.
Why are you calling the police on an American citizen buying groceries to feed me?
Me. Yeah, well, nobody cares about your selfish desires, especially when it puts everyone else at risk. So put on a mask, Karen, or get the fuck out, you idiot.
That's fine. Do you know how many health professionals, infectious disease doctors say how dangerous it is for you to be wearing and breathing your own CO2? That you're actually exasperating the problem.
Exasperating? Really, Karen? I think the word you're looking for is exacerbating, which means to make worse. Exasperating means to be intensely irritating. Like you, Karen. You're exacerbating the problem by being an exasperating idiot.
Exactly. And I should have the right to not wear a mask in America. I have the right to not wear a mask in America because I'm an American citizen.
So you should have the right to spread a deadly pathogen to fellow American citizens because you're an American citizen living in America. That's nonsensical, Karen. You're a fucking idiot.
Guys, share. I'm in Trader Joe's in Palos Verdes, California. And because I am not wearing my mask, my friend is, they weren't even going to let him buy it, okay? But because I'm not, okay, this is actually unhealthy, okay? To run a mask. Excuse me.
Don't be talking to her. Sit your dumbass down, Chad, and stop white knighting for this moron. And Karen, they aren't keeping you from selecting your groceries because you refuse to wear a mask. They literally want you out of their fucking store. And yet, you spent the whole time arguing with them while your cave dick did all your shopping for you. Both of you dipshits should have been banned without letting you finish your shopping. You're both fucking idiots.
Then quit attacking me. I have a right to my own opinion. You do have a right to your own. So, and I have a right to wear a mask or not.
No, you don't. Not inside of a private business that requires you to wear a mask to do your shopping. Either follow the rules or shop somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because that's just BS. There are people. No, I'm not going to be in sync and be a sheep. No, I want to buy groceries.
Then follow the fucking rules, Karen. You're not fucking special. You're a self-entitled piece of shit, team-killing idiot.
No, I'm sorry. You're the one that wanted to call the police because I wouldn't put my mask up. That's insane to me.
Wrong again, idiot. He called the cops on you because you were being a public nuisance and you refused to leave the store. If you didn't want to wear a mask and you still left the store, they wouldn't have called the cops on you.
All I wanted to do was come and buy groceries and to feed me and my family.
So are you saying that when weighing your two options, one being putting on a mask and guaranteeing to feed your family, or two, refusing to put on a mask and potentially not feeding your family, you chose to potentially not feed your family, Karen? you're a fucking idiot.
Respect that for years. Respect that this is a normal, everyday thing for people to come and shop for groceries.
Karen, you're an idiot. Why don't you respect the customers and employees around you? Why don't you respect the rules of the establishment? And why don't you respect that these are abnormal times, and what was normal in 2019 is not necessarily normal in 2020?
And to be literally Gestapo'd at the door.
What the fuck did you just say?
And Gestapo'd at the checkout.
Gestapo'd is not a word, and neither is Gestapo'd either. Karen, you're a fucking idiot.
Do you understand the insanity of what's going on here? I want you to just wake up, Jesse. I realize it's your job, and I promise you I'm not giving you a hard time.
Oh my God, what a shithead. Look here, Jesse. I know she's annoying as shit, and she's being rude to you, and she's ruining your day and the day of everybody else in the store. But Jesse, it's not her fault, okay? She promises that she's not giving you a hard time. But I'm sure that in her self-centered world, it's completely impossible for her to ever give anyone else a hard time.
Yes, it is. It is. There's absolutely no reason for us to wear masks. None. Zip. Zero.
Well, given the number of Americans who have died from COVID-19 already, I can count at least 130,000 reasons why you should be wearing a mask. Not to mention the fact that anti-mask idiots like you keep running around and picking verbal arguments with people while you're not wearing a mask just increase the total number of reasons by 1.
A 99% survival rate. That's what coronavirus is.
Oh, Karen, it's so adorable when you try to state facts. I mean, you're still an idiot, but it's adorable. As of recording this video, there have been 6.2 million people who have recovered from COVID-19, with about 528,000 deaths. A little bit of simple math will show you that the death rate is closer to 7.8%, not 1%. Now, this number will change over time as we get a better understanding of how this virus kills people. So for now, let's just assume that her 1% claim is correct. That means that this fucking idiot thinks it's okay to potentially infect 100 people, essentially killing at least one of them, just because she doesn't want to wear a mask while she goes shopping.
Okay, go right ahead. But seriously, guys, why? Shame on all of you. It's a 99% success rate, a 99% recovery rate, and yet you're all wearing this. This is actually unhealthy. That is my problem. Getting the police called. No, you are the problem.
I fucking love the fact that all these beautiful and wonderful people are standing up together against this troglodyte in solidarity. Their days of being public idiot number 1 are numbered.
Unbelievable. This is it, guys. This is the new normal right here. Right here. Trader Joe's. Right here, guys. You saw it first. Oh, and now they're... Okay. They're all clapping because I laughed.
They aren't the only ones either. In fact, if you can, everybody, stand up and let's give it up for Trader Joe's.
Unbelievable here. Unbelievable. Look at these sheep, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck. I told you, Karen. You gotta warn us first. I'm wearing a face mask, not a sensory deprivation mask.
Absolutely ridiculous. And this one, okay, with her mask on in her car. I mean, why would you have a mask on in your car?
I don't know, Karen. She could have just got there, or could just have gotten her car to leave. Or maybe she's out shopping for groceries for someone who can't wear a mask and is doing their part by staying home. There are thousands of reasons for her to be sitting in a parked car in a parking lot with a mask on. But I can only think of one reason why that would trigger you. Because you are a fucking idiot.
Exactly. Dude, some sanity. You can't go in there without a mask. They're gonna make you wear a mask. And if you don't, they're gonna call the police on you.
This makes total fucking sense. White trash Karen shares the same beliefs as hillbilly Chad. If these two mated, their baby would have hooves. They're both fucking idiots.
To actually go in and to go in. And then once I got in, of course, I wasn't going to wear it. And so I put it down and I shopped around.
Nailed it.
Okay. Then every single cart, they wipe it down. They wipe down the cart. I said, no, I don't want my cart wiped down. Don't wipe down my cart. I need bacteria. I need that to help build my immune system.
You're so fucking stupid, Karen. Bacteria is literally everywhere. With every breath you take in, on every surface that you touch, everywhere. You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, here she goes with her wipe down. I opted not to get it wiped down because, like I said, for the last 57 years on this planet, I've been able to, survive.
And I'm sure that in the 57 years that the devil has allowed you to walk around outside of the gates of hell, you've never followed the advice of a medical professional, not even once. You've never been to the hospital. You've never had any kids. Well, that one I actually hope is true. But are you telling us that the medical advice that got you to the age of 57 is no longer valid because you don't want to wear a mask? Karen, you're a fucking idiot.
The mask is an unhealthy, fake protection that most of the micro, I don't even know what they're called, microns or whatever, they go right through the mask. I mean, it doesn't save anything.
Yeah, you're fucking stupid because micron is a unit of measurement and it represents 1/1,000,000th of a meter. I think the term you're looking for is viron. And masks don't protect you from other people's virons. They protect other people from your virons. So take your micron-sized brain home and stop being an idiot.
I've also been permanently banned from this location. Think about that. This is a neighborhood Trader Joe's that I've been shopping in for a very long time.
Not anymore, you idiot. And you're gonna wish you just put on that mask when you gotta drive 20 minutes away just to get a little bit of lard. Karen, you're a fucking idiot. Okay, so I think this is going to be where we end the video today. These Karens are getting worse and worse, and I don't know if it's the isolation or because all the managers worldwide have stood up for themselves and are saying, no more Karen. Either way, I'll be glad when they're gone, because every single Karen is a total fucking idiot. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. If you found this video interesting or entertaining, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to check out the full-length video recorded by my second camera to show everything I have to go through to record one of these videos for you guys, and to make sure that I didn't cheat on my own challenge. And a massive shout out to all of my channel members and patrons whose support helps me keep doing what I love to do, calling out idiots on the internet. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out. Hey guys, and welcome to today's... Hey guys, and welcome to today's window licking lesson. Today's instructor will be Karen, and she's a window licking pro. So let's begin.
I don't wear a mask. You're not serving people, that's discrimination.
I'm sorry, but entitlement is not a discriminatory characteristic covered by the ADA. So if you don't want to be discriminated against because you're so entitled, Karen, then just don't be so entitled, Karen.
You want to discriminate? Well, is it a law? Should we call the sheriff and ask him to explain the law? My manager told me that. Well, then let's call law enforcement, because this is a problem.
Yeah, you're right. It is a problem. They told you to leave because they won't serve you without a mask, and you're refusing to leave. At this point, the problem is you're trespassing, and I guarantee you don't want them to call the sheriff.
This is not a law, and I am under no obligation to wear a mask.
And they are under no obligation to serve you, just as you are under no obligation to shop there. So why don't you and your team-killing fucktard friends go find somewhere else to shop that supports spreading the pandemic?
So in Nazi Germany, when your manager told you to like shove people in the ovens, you would do that, I guess?
You, Karen, are a dumb bitch, because her following the safety and health guidelines probably set forth by the health department is in no way, shape, or form comparable to the Nazis' persecution of the Jewish race. And it begs the question, would this Karen eat at a restaurant where the cooks stood up against the Nazi Applebee's and didn't wear a hairnet or wash their hands?
I'm asking a real question. You have ovens, don't you? Yeah. Okay, well, I will stand here until the law enforcement comes. Because I'd like to make a citizen's arrest of you. This is discrimination.
No, this is max level cringe stupidity. And why the fuck would you wait for a police officer if you intend on doing a citizen's arrest? At that point, wouldn't it just be a normal arrest? And good luck finding that she wouldn't serve me fresh bread because I'm a dumb anti-masker law in the penal code, jackass.
You're just snowflakes who have no sense of humor. Most Asians do, but I guess you don't.
You know what, ma'am? You know what? Don't make me clock out, because I'm not even playing with you. No
Why don't you clock out? Why don't you clock out?
You look crazy. You look crazy.
That's fine.
You look crazy.
Yeah.
Racist
Well, you
ass.
are crazy. Mm-hmm. Sure. So I'm not a slave wearing a mask. I would have been very happy to check out. I don't have to be quiet. I'm an American, I have free speech. It's called a 1A, First Amendment.
Karen, the First Amendment protects your right to freedom of speech from the government, not the grocery store. Nowhere in the First Amendment does it say that you have the right to disrupt businesses, illegally gather on private property, and not leave when told to do so.
You're right.
Yeah.
I am a descendant of a slave.
Yeah.
But your goddamn
And by the way, you know what?
You killed,
When you were
you
slave,
stabbed
you had to wear a
us, you
mask.
raped us,
And I guess you
did
missed that.
everything.
Well, guys, you heard her. When you were a slave, you were forced to wear a mask. Yeah, according to her, slaves had N95s, I guess.
No, yeah, you just dismiss it because
I
you
guess
don't want no
you
fucking
missed it.
accountability. You need to take your crazy ass up to
Right.
the psych ward and then realize what your goddamn history
Well,
is.
at least you took your mask down. Good job. Would you like a brochure?
I have to talk to somebody
You
like
do.
you.
I agree.
I can honestly understand the other lady's frustrations, but don't let the anti-Mastardians win.
I'm only trying to help you. I do know the history. I do know my history.
Somebody else a slave. You better go ask your goddamn grandmother what the motherfucking Confederate
We
Bible
were
says.
all slaves.
You better hear you.
You do realize we were all slaves, right?
Well, you need to acknowledge that.
I do acknowledge
Okay,
it.
then don't call me a slave. You're
I'm
the slave.
saying when anyone
Deal
wears
with
the
your shit.
mask, you're a slave. Slavery is a choice.
I'm not a man.
Excuse me. The fuck did you just say?
I don't need you. Don't tell me about my mask. I had COVID.
Uh-huh. You had the
So
flu.
you don't tell me.
You had the flu.
No, it wasn't the flu. Because I'm asthmatic. It wasn't the fucking flu. You sick.
You sound like a hypochondriac.
No. Sound
And you sound like you're getting your medical information from Dr. Dickweed on Facebook MD.
like to me, your grandfathers, your forefathers, and everybody else, the twisted lies they told you, and you want us to believe you doing that shit right now. The twisted shit. Trump
Like I
does.
said, I'm happy you took the mask down.
Well, you know what?
Mission accomplished.
I
I am.
And if I had COVID now, you would be sick.
Oh no.
I wouldn't be held accountable.
I have an immune system.
So does damn near every person in the world. And yet they still get sick and they still die. So what's your point, Karen?
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah.
We're talking about Christmas now.
Yes, my immune system is my privilege, right? Yeah, I'd make healthy choices. That's called choice privilege. Please, yeah. In Jesus' name, forgive her. Go for it. Yeah.
Kiss my black ass.
Ooh, I'm shattered. I don't know if I'll sleep tonight.
This corruption.
Offensive. I was trying to have a conversation. I was just trying to have a conversation with him.
You said you thought Asians were smart.
Yeah, and I was kidding. I was just
Does that sound kidding to you?
Yes, because everyone knows Asians are smart. It's like saying a
Girl,
lot.
you gotta get her the fuck out of here.
Excuse me, I'm not moving.
One, you need to wear a mask. It's a mandate now inside of our
it's not
store.
law.
And we can refuse business.
Then let's call the police.
We can
I
call
will
the
wait here
police
for you to
right
call
now.
the police.
You can wait outside. You can wait
No,
outside.
I didn't do anything wrong.
asked to leave.
I did nothing wrong.
Not according to California Penal Code 602 PC, which defines trespassing as entering or remaining on someone else's private property without permission or the right to do so. Safeway is not your property, and they've clearly asked you to leave several times. At this point, you're trespassing, and I hope they take your ass to jail.
Thanks. So you're being
Let's
asked to
call
leave?
So I'd
You
like
can
to
wait outside.
I'd like
inside of our business. And you need to wait outside.
You need
for the
to
police.
let go, and I need to call the police. You can call the police. No, I'm not.
Please let this go.
Excuse me.
Ma'am, please let this go.
You are.
I'm asking you nicely.
No, I'm not
Ma'am,
doing anything.
Ma'am, please let this go.
Nope.
Ma'am, please let this go.
Please unhand me. Please
Ma'am,
let
please
go.
let this go.
You're assaulting me.
I'm not assaulting
Yes,
you.
you are.
I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not
you
assaulting
are.
you. Ma'am, please let this go.
Nope.
Can you let this go?
I'd like you to call the law enforcement.
I am. It seems like you got a medical condition.
I would like you to
It
call
seems
law
like you have a
enforcement.
medical condition. Something's going on with you. Are
I
you okay?
have every right to be here.
No, she's not okay. She's suffering from hyperkaronemia, and she's about to flatline from anal entitleitis. We need to get her to a padded room with a helmet, stat.
No, ma'am, you're refusing to leave right now.
That's great. I'd like you to call
you're
law
being
enforcement.
asked to leave.
Yeah, I'd like you to call law
Okay.
enforcement.
Well, I will. When you let this go.
Great. Nope.
May you please let this go, ma'am?
No, I will not.
Ma'am, may you please let this go?
I'm not
You're,
letting
you're being
anything
asked
go.
to leave.
And I'd like
Ma'am,
to be
you're being asked to leave.
accommodated. No,
You're not being
I have
accommodated.
every right to be here.
Ma'am, may you
No, you don't, Karen.
please let this go?
Please call the police.
Ma'am, please let this go.
Please call the police.
Please. You can smile. You can go out. You're not wearing a mask.
Call the police.
They asked you to leave.
I'm not leaving until you call the police.
Ma'am, please let it go.
Nope, I'm going to talk to law enforcement.
We can talk to them outside. Outside, you You're have being 6 asked to witnesses leave. to go against you at the moment. You're being You are asked to leave. trespassing on our property,
And I'm-
Safeway property.
Sorry.
Kick your ass outside and wait.
You can
We'll
call
call
law
the cops right
enforcement.
there. Let's go, man.
You can call. I'm not
Ma'am,
leaving. I have
please
every
let this go.
right to be here. Nope.
Ma'am, why are you, ma'am, please let this go.
I'm a San Francisco native. I have every
is
right
not
to be
San
here.
Francisco.
Excuse me.
Oh, she's a San Francisco native. Well, now you're at risk of her going outside and shitting on the sidewalk because she didn't get her way.
Please let go of my hand. Please, you are literally assaulting me. Now I'm going to make a police report.
I am not assaulting
Call
you.
police.
I don't think you
You're
understand.
touching me, and
I
I'm
don't
not
think you
comfortable with
understand what
that.
assaulting
Please let go.
Can you please let go of the property
You're
of Safeway?
literally
Can you let
assaulting
go of the property of Safeway?
Let go of me.
Can you let go of the property of Safeway?
Let go of me.
Can you let go of the...
Hello?
Did anyone?
Let go of me. No, I didn't. Stop touching me.
Ma'am,
Call the
please
police.
inside. Come on.
Call the police.
Come on, ma'am.
I'm not leaving. Stop it.
Ma'am,
Call the police. You can call the police. Excuse me.
It's a slippery sword.
Stop. Call the police right now.
She's actually sitting on the floor. This is what happens when a Karen skips leg day and can't support the weight of her own entitlement.
Yeah, your people sold you into slavery. What?
You know what? Let me tell your dumbass something.
Please.
You know why they sold us into slavery?
Why?
Because the dumbass Europeans started marrying the slaves so they can have a fucking straight.
Were you there? I don't think we've been lied to about all our history.
So let me get this right. All the history that doesn't fit your narrative is a lie, but all the history that you and your white nationalist friends tell around the burning cross, well, that's absolute truth.
Think beyond one lifetime.
You don't know nothing about your history, because if you did, you wouldn't be sitting here calling me a slave, because you know that's
I'm saying if you choose to wear the mask, slavery is a choice.
She said I was a slave.
I said slavery is a choice. This is slavery.
Oh, she's talking about it.
Winter wind, guide
Thank you for rectifying it.
An enemy has been slain.
But this is not.
Check it out.
I don't know if
contagious. I couldn't give you something if I tried to.
Tell that to someone who has an STD. In fact, you have an immune system, so go have unprotected sex with someone who has herpes and test your I have an immune system and I can't catch nothing theory for yourself.
Yes. How do you know it's not contagious? Because I am a health conscious individual. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay, viruses. I got a virus 3 years ago. I asked my doctor, who's like a natural doctor, I'm like, I want harder drugs because I didn't like being sick. And you know what she told me? She was like, I can make you comfortable. There's nothing I can do because it's a virus. It plays itself out, and it did. I was miserable for 2 weeks. Miserable. Okay, I maybe it was pre-COVID. Who knows? Because it was, I'd been traveling. What I'm trying to tell you is that
I don't think anybody cares to hear what you're saying, Karen. Especially since right before you told us about this virus you caught a couple of years ago, you literally said you can't catch anything because of your immune system.
there's nothing new under the sun. I'm sure they are.
But you know what? Before you start calling people slaves,
I will. Hi. How's it going? The only reason I'm sitting down is
Because you're a petulant little anti-mask, piece of shit, self-entitled brat who plopped herself on the pavement to patiently wait to be trespassed off the property.
is because they first they just whatever. Yes. That's okay. That's fine.
Okay, so tell me what's going on today.
Basically, I was just trying to get my groceries, and I was harassed for not wearing a mask, and I was having a private conversation, a friendly conversation with another patron. I would never be offensive. I love all people.
Karen, literally your entire presence in this video has been intentionally offensive to someone around you. You can eat shit.
But, it's like if you overhear a little snippet and you think it just jumped all over me. And then security was called and put his hands on me, on my basket. It's like, you know what? I'm just here to get some groceries. I have every right to speak freely. This is not free speech.
And no one put their hands over your mouth. Not to mention, I did an entire video with a mask over my face and not one single comment read, "Sorry dude, couldn't hear you with that mask over your face." So wearing a mask over your suckhole might not be your ideal way to convey your stupidity, but it's also not a violation of your First Amendment rights, Karen.
I don't do that, and as a Christian, I feel persecuted. It's like, this is the breath of life. I'm an image bearer of God. I won't mask my face. So I know my rights. I know what my First Amendment is. I know it's backed up by the Second.
I apologize for interrupting, but what was your first name?
Christina.
Christina, okay. I'm also Olivia.
Nice to meet you.
I totally understand. I like hearing your part of your side of the story here. I got told about security.
Good. Yeah, I called 911. I also called.
We also got a call from you.
Yes, you did.
The deal is today, business can refuse service to somebody. Right now they've informed me that we're
The thing is, they can't do it on the basis of this.
They can do it on the basis of
No, they can't. Public accommodation.
Yeah, officer, get it right. What Karen says goes. Because Karen doesn't just know the law, Karen is the law.
the law!
They actually can't.
Yes, they can.
No, they cannot.
But ma'am, so today, if what you're telling
That
me
is not true. Like, literally, I also have a medical exemption.
Of course you do, Karen. Of course you do.
So it's like, to do that is discriminated against me for medical, for Christian. I mean, you did swear an oath to the Constitution. Do you remember that oath? Do you remember what the 1A is?
Christina,
Yes.
the deal is today is the business here is refusing.
So I just told you, do you think it was appropriate for him to put hands on me? I'd like to make a report. No, I'd like to make a complaint. That's totally inappropriate.
Inappropriate or not, that business and those business owners have the right to refuse service to you. Weren't you saying something earlier about the people's rights? Or when you were talking about people, were you just referring simultaneously to multiple versions of yourself in the third person?
I'd like to make a report. I don't. He actually like squeezed me. I think I'm gonna have bruising.
Do you have injuries?
Yes, I do.
Do you need medical attention?
I needed my lemons. I needed my tea.
Okay.
Well, if you really needed your lemons and tea that bad, then you really needed to wear a mask, moron. Okay, so I think this is going to be where we end the video today. Here I was thinking that the entitled Karen meta was finally over, and then this dipshit posted this. Karen, you're a fucking idiot. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. If you found this video interesting or entertaining, then give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And a massive shout out to all of my channel members and patrons whose support helps me keep doing what I love to do. Calling out idiots on the internet. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.
The Sacramento City Council will please come to order. Would the clerk please call the roll to establish a quorum?
Thank you, Councilmember Warren, Councilmember Harris, Councilmember Hanson, Councilmember Carr, Councilmember Jennings, Councilmember Dale,
Here.
Councilmember
Pastor Joy Johnson, the president of Area Congregations Together, I wonder if you would do us the honor of not only leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, but maybe starting us off tonight with some prayer. I think we can all use it.
I would ask that all of the clergy join me in front of us.
Please.
Let us salute the symbol of our nation. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Pastor, okay. I promise you tonight that everyone is going to get a chance to be heard. Everyone is going to get a chance to speak. But in order to ensure that everyone gets a chance to speak and we can actually listen to each other, I have to request that people not shout out from the audience. The last thing I want to do tonight is ask anybody to leave. But I ask you if you would please consider the other activists, advocates, passionate people who are here tonight so that we have an orderly meeting so that everyone can be heard. Thank you, Pastor Joy.
Thank you. I will be praying in the tradition of my Christian journey. I ask all who have faith in any other tradition to center yourself in that tradition as we make ready for this. God, I do thank you and honor you for this moment to stand with brothers and sisters. And I stand with a conviction and commitment, oh God, that you have designed each one of us in your image. And you have given us and gifted us with gifts, talents, abilities, and skills. And you have brought us to this place on planet Earth to do that which is righteous and that which is just. I pray for the assignment on each life, each being in this room. I pray, God, that we would be those who would honor you, our Creator, in every breath.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's idiot video. While rummaging through the rectal repositories on Reddit, I came across the video that I'm going to be covering today. And it actually covers the same Karen that I covered in my last video. See, in my last video, I covered 2 videos where the same Karen got arrested for the same thing twice in 1 week. Now, what I didn't know is that between those 2 videos, she did an interview. Today, we're going to cover that interview. So let's begin.
I walked in, and the lady who was at the door said, do you have a mask? I said, no, thank you, I don't need one. And she says, well, you need a mask. Here's a mask. I said, no, thank you, I don't need one.
So I don't know if this Karen knows how society works or not, but when a private business tells you that you need a mask in order to do business there, then it's in your best interest to wear a mask or find somewhere else to do your business.
And I'm standing on my little red dots. So, so she's like, ma'am, you have to leave. I said, I just want to close my account. I'm going to get my money, and then I'll leave. I can't go through the drive-thru. I'm pulling the rig. So she says, well, if you don't put a mask on or leave, then I'm calling the cops. I said, well, do what you have to do.
So you were asked to leave, or they would call the cops on you and you told them to do what they had to do? How'd that work out for you, Karen?
You know? So, there was a lot of people in the bank. They only had one teller going, so it took a while. If they had been faster, I could have been gone already.
I love when human colostomy bags blame other people for their shortcomings. The fact that she's trying to blame the bank tellers not moving fast enough as the reason for her arrest makes me appreciate her arrest even that much more.
But, so I'm like next in line, and all of a sudden this cop shows up and, ma'am, you gotta put your mask on. I said, no, I don't. It's against my civil rights. I do not have to wear a mask. There's no law that tells me I have to wear a mask. So I said, your governor just opened it up. Everything's good. I have rights.
These videos took place in Texas, and to some extent, she's right. The governor of Texas did remove the mask mandates from all public spaces. Key word, public spaces, which doesn't include private businesses, which don't have to respect your imaginary civil rights.
Ma'am, this is private property. If you don't put your mask on, then I'm going to arrest you. I'm like, I'm almost up there. Let me do my business, and then I'll be gone.
Sometimes I wonder what the thought process of this troglodyte was. I mean, did she really think that if the cop arrived there 5 minutes later, that the bank was just going to serve her without a mask? No, Karen. They called the cops to remove you because they weren't going to serve you without a mask, and you refused to leave on your own.
So, right about that time, he reached over and grabbed my arm. I'm like, don't touch me.
Admitting to resisting arrest is not the smart thing to do. But then again, nobody watching this video is expecting you to do the smart thing ever.
And so he's trying to grab him again, and I had a little, I call it a tushy bag, where it's a little purse that you wear around your waist.
It's called a fanny pack, and it's where Karens like you keep your 9 brain cells and 3 IQ points.
So, anyway, I'm telling him, don't touch me, and he's trying to grab my arms and trying to reach me behind, and then, I'm trying to get away from him, heading towards the door, and anyway, he's trying to pull me up on my feet, and I said, just a minute, I'm trying to get up.
You gotta love when a Karen goes full self-ownage, like telling people that she doesn't need a mask, that she's not sick, and then fucking coughs on camera. That's why you need a mask, Karen. That's why.
So the minute I got my foot under me, I'm like, he's like, stand up, stand up. I said, I think you broke my damn foot. Well, While I was on the ground, I'm looking up at all the people in there. I'm like, are you serious? Not one of you people are going to stand up for me. I'm a 65-year-old woman, and this man is throwing me on the ground.
The truly shameful part about this whole situation is that she is a 65-year-old grown-ass woman, and she's acting like a 9-year-old petulant brat.
Yeah, so they had to wait for the ambulance to get there. So, and I'm handcuffed back, and he's like, got this so tight on my wrist. I've got bruises and cuts and boo-boos all over. My ribs hurt. My neck hurts.
Cool story, Karen. But do you know why liars laugh after telling lies? Because even they find it funny that you might be buying their bullshit.
Everything you went through, wouldn't it just have been easier to just put a mask on?
Did I know this guy was going to be crazy?
I think you're missing the point of the question. It's not about whether the officer was crazy or not crazy. He's asking you if, looking back on this situation, don't you think it might have been easier on you if you would have just worn your mask for the 15 minutes it would have taken to withdraw your $4.20 and close your account? Instead, you chose not to wear a mask, to get refused service, to have the police called on you because you wouldn't leave, and ultimately you got arrested for trespassing and resisting arrest.
And let me tell you, if I asked you to put a bag over your head because I'm afraid of your breath, would you do that?
Are you stupid or something?
This has to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard a Karen say. Putting a plastic bag over your head and suffocating yourself is not the same thing as wearing a mask to ensure the health and wellness of the people around you. One will kill you, the other is being a net positive to society.
Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? I have civil rights. This whole pandemic thing is a joke. And they've got people so scared to death, so paranoid.
You don't believe it's real?
No, I do not believe it's real. I know for a fact it's real.
Well, let's just be thankful that you're the queen of your trailer park and not the head of surgery at your local hospital. Because this living catheter just said that COVID is fake, followed by, I know it's real. Let's listen to her reasoning.
If you guys would do your research, there was back in, I think it was March or April of last year, Houston, all the doctors came out that were treating all the COVID people, and they were livid. They're saying, we have a cure. We have a cure for this. Everybody that we have given this to, it works.
A few patients recovering from COVID after drinking fish tank cleaner does not a scientific study make.
You don't think that there ever was a pandemic? You don't think that?
I think it's the flu.
You think it's what?
The flu. I had it last January before it was the COVID.
I have come across so many Karens who have claimed to have had COVID-19 in January 2020, when in the entire month of January, there were less than 15 cases in the entire United States. Now, I've come across about 50 videos claiming this. So please, make this make sense, Karen.
I was sick for 3 weeks. I was really exhausted. I ate a bunch of vitamins, took my vitamin D that I take every morning.
So wait, let me get this straight. You just said that you take vitamin D and vitamin C and all these supplements every morning to make sure you're not sick, but you still got sick in January 2020.
Don't you? I would think that, fortunately I haven't had it, but I know people that have. I mean, it would, if I had it, it would make me more, I got to wear a mask. You know what I'm saying?
No. Do you wear a mask for any other flu? Do we shut down the whole economy for any other flu?
COVID-19 is not the flu. I mean, I know you read online or saw in your favorite Facebook group that COVID-19 symptoms were flu-like symptoms, but COVID-19 and the flu are two separate viruses. And it's because of self-entitled Neanderkarens like you who refuse to wear a mask and refuse to accept reality that our economy is in the situation that it's in today. So get in line or get fucked.
Yeah, they released the body.
So, exactly. And you know what? She told me on the phone, she says that was not a police department. That was a private security guy. I said,
No,
well,
it was the Galveston Police.
That's what you just said. But she lied to me. Why would she do that? Is she trying to cover stuff up, right?
No, Karen. They're not trying to cover anything up. And you did get arrested by the police. Unless the laws changed and bank security is now driving around in police cruisers. Let's watch the replay.
One in custody. Yeah, they say that they have a warrant for your arrest.
That's not what they told me. She said wow, so they can still come and get me, huh?
Yes, Karen. When you have a warrant, you can be arrested in the United States. That's how shit works. And I love how this Karen didn't even know she had a warrant until the gentleman interviewing her told her. And the cameraman, beautiful timing, zooms right in on her face to catch that awkward moment when Karen realizes that any day now she's gonna be arrested again.
Wow, so they can still come and get me, huh?
Yeah, they've got that. Yeah, they put out a press release.
So when I called her and I said, I received no paperwork, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And she goes, ma'am, you're not arrested. If you're arrested, you'd be in my jail.
Well, that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes a police officer can detain you and get your information and then finish conducting his investigation. And if that investigation warrants a warrant for your arrest, well, then they're going to issue a warrant for your arrest. In this case, you said that your foot was broken and that you needed medical attention. But when you got to the hospital, they released you without injury. Once they did that, the cop said, you're gonna come sit your dumb ass in jail.
Right, but I mean, they're publicly saying they have a...
They're also, well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe that's just to keep you off the trail of what happened. I don't know. Because
are you gonna turn yourself in?
I'm gonna be right here at this trailer park.
Trailer park. Go figure. Now I know that I rag on trailer park troglodytes pretty hard. And maybe it's because as a child I spent a significant portion of time growing up in and around trailer parks. And at least in my experience, there's two types of people that live in trailer parks. One is the respectable citizen that enjoys the cheaper way of living and the community that comes with a trailer park. The other are these self-entitled dipshits looking for drama, thinking that their septic tank don't smell.
So if they want to come and find me, I guess I'll deal with that. Maybe they'll beat me up again. I don't know.
Just last question. I mean, in every situation, hindsight's 20/20, right? And I get what you're saying. You're absolutely correct. No one in Texas has to wear a mask.
That's right.
But when you do, but a private business, they have the right, just like they have the right to say no shoes.
It's not like I'm going in there shopping.
It doesn't fucking matter, Karen. If you go in there without wearing a mask and you say, hey, I'm the special case that doesn't need to wear the mask because I only have a little bit to do, then the next person comes in and goes, hey, she's not wearing a mask and she's getting served. Well, I'm not going to wear a mask either. And then the next person comes in and goes, hey, they're not wearing masks. I'm not going to wear one either as well. And before you know it, everybody wants to be the special case. Karen, you're not special, you're an idiot.
If you could, and again, this is all hypothetical.
Okay, and I'm telling you, I would not change a thing. I'm not going to put a face diaper on because everyone is paranoid of something that is not real.
Oh, it's not real? Well, why don't you try telling that to the 562,000 families who lost someone to COVID this year? Including mine, you...
Even after all this, you're not going to wear one.
Sir? I am not going to wear one. I put it on in the hospital because there's sick people in there. You never know.
Oh, the irony. The irony of that statement. You'll wear a mask inside of a hospital because obviously there's sick people. Well, guess what, Karen? Since the beginning of this pandemic, there's been about 31 million Americans who have tested positive for COVID-19. Not to mention the fact that there's about 50,000 new cases every day. So guess what? Sick people are everywhere, Karen. Wear your mask.
So,
Terry, I appreciate you telling this. I really do, and I wish you the best of luck.
I wish that you would go find that footage from the people that cured everybody and had the cure, and then all of a sudden, because it was hydroxychloroquine, it's a no-doer. You guys need to do your research. I'm telling you, it's out there.
Am I the only one that finds it ironic that this Karen would trust a couple of doctors in Houston treating a couple of patients with malaria medicine over the entire body of science and the most rigorously tested vaccine in human fucking history? I mean, this Karen has to spell logic with a stupid.
I just want to be very clear with you in your situation, okay? The Galveston Police Department they'd send out the body cam to every news outlet. They'd send out a press.
Okay, so here's my question. Here's my question. Why do you think they're doing that if they release the body cam? Why do you think they're doing it? No, and I want you to think.
Oh, I don't know, Karen. Maybe because you might do an interview and claim police brutality when no police brutality occurred. And body cam footage is public information. So instead of fielding thousands and thousands of requests from reporters and news agencies and just random people on the internet, they got in front of that train and just released it to everybody.
When you look at the video, it's like he's not. I guess you could call it. He might be a little manhandle-ish, I guess, in a way, but it's like, I mean, he makes it clear to you that this bank wants you can only come in the bank if you wear a mask.
And I had been in the bank for probably, 15 minutes, all right? So all I had to do was do my business and leave.
Oh my God, you're still missing the fucking point, Karen. It's not about the couple of minutes left when the officer arrived that you would have been able to finish your business, which you weren't going to finish anyway because they weren't going to serve you. It's about the 15... Hey guys, and welcome to today's Flat Earth Idiots video. Today's video is going to be covering the Flat Earth Godfather, or as I like to call him, Flat Earth Dumbo, Mark Sargent, and his recent appearance on Good Morning, a UK-based TV show. Now, for copyright reasons, I had to cut out the unused portions, so there will be a link in the description if you want to watch the full interview. Now, today's video is the first of my remastered videos, which are just newer, upgraded versions of the videos that YouTube removed when I was hacked. So sit back, relax, and let's laugh at this flat earther together. And oh yeah, I'll be reading and reacting to your comments in a future video, so I look forward to your creativity. So let's begin.
Of the leading voices in the Flat Earth movement.
I love when Mark Sargent and other people refer to him as the Flat Earth leader. That's not something I'd brag about. That's like bragging about being the oldest kid in the 3rd grade because it's your 3rd time through. Mark Sargent, you're an idiot.
Well, Mark joins us now. Good morning, Mark.
Welcome.
I mean, obviously, there are thousands of questions,
Yes.
which I'm sure you've been asked 1,000 times.
A few, yes.
I find it funny that Mark Sargent and all other Flat Earth idiots still believe in the Flat Earth when they can't even answer the most basic of questions. Not to mention, Flat Earthers fail to provide a Flat Earth model that we can test and criticize. I mean, I'm surprised more flat earthers don't still believe in Santa Claus.
Now we can see that it's actually round.
Sure.
We've seen that it's round.
Sure.
So how come it's not?
It's not because we can't prove it's a globe.
When are these degenerate idiots gonna learn that science has the responsibility of disproving bad ideas like the flat earth and not proving good ones? It might sound counterintuitive, but it's actually true. For a scientific theory to be considered valid and accepted, it must first be falsifiable.
Everything that we've, in fact, it starts out with everybody that's in the flat earth community starts out looking at the globe saying, can you prove it? Can you prove the globe, especially without using NASA? Because it's not that we found out that the world was a globe back in 1972. We knew for 5 centuries.
Hold on. Did Mark Sargent just say that mankind has known it's a globe for centuries? Isn't that what we've been saying for the past few years, Mark? You're an idiot.
So that's how everyone starts. You try to prove it in a court of law.
Court of law? Are you serious? As if a judge who's an expert on law would also be an expert in determining the validity of scientific claims. Now what you could do is take your evidence to the court of science and see how fast you get laughed out of that courtroom. That is the best way you deal with a flat earth idiot. Just point and laugh.
He'll come out and tell you that no civilian will ever be able to see the curvature of the earth. Because
So is he lying?
No, I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm saying that you wanted to see the curvature. There's a big difference.
But how is that any different than a flat earther walking outside and saying it's flat because everywhere they look, it looks flat? By your logic, isn't it possible, even probable, that those idiots are just seeing what they want to see?
And that's live pictures from the space station now.
Right.
That's all a lie.
Again, started from the American military. Yes, absolutely. I'm saying it's worse than that.
So what is that then? What am I looking at if I'm not looking at live pictures?
You're looking at CGI.
CGI.
Oh, I'm not saying there's something up there, no question. Is there a vehicle that could be the ISS up there? Yeah. Are there people inside it? No, not a chance. And you can look at the interior footage and the production value is horrible. I challenge anybody.
Are you really saying that you think the ISS is fake due to its poor production value? Did you forget that the ISS is moving at almost 17,000 miles per hour and it's orbiting the Earth? Or maybe you just forgot that everything inside, including the astronauts, are experiencing microgravity and are essentially just floating around on the inside of the space station. It's almost as if they designed the ISS to be a space laboratory and not a space movie set. Mark Sargent, you're an idiot.
We've got
I've interviewed, both of us, we've interviewed Tim Peake from this sofa.
I know. And
so what was I doing? Who was I talking to? Where was he?
You were talking to a military officer, nothing more. I talked to Terry Virts, American astronaut. And look, they're all, you gotta remember, everybody that goes up there are high-ranking military.
Mark Sargent's an idiot, and this is a flat-out lie. While it is very expensive to go to space, civilians can actually purchase tickets to visit the ISS. Here's a clip from KLBJ 93.7 of a flat earther and a civilian astronaut having a debate. Notice the face on the flat earther when he finds out that he's actually talking to someone who's been to space and seen the spherical Earth with his own eyes.
Aboard which Russian ship?
10 years ago this week.
10 years ago this week.
I flew on the Russian Soyuz up to live for 2 weeks on the International Space Station.
Had to learn a lot of stuff and qualify.
Including Сейчас знаю русский язык. Yeah, so even the Russian language, which was
what did you? So what is your opening statement?
Well, first I'd like to tell you that I do know that the Earth is round by personal direct observation. I spent 2 weeks in orbit around the Earth.
Why? What's the point of faking it?
Well, that's one of the bigger questions, which is why keep this thing a secret? And we're talking about...
No, but why fake it?
Because if you don't fake it, eventually the private industry is going to get involved, and then they're going to find out on their own.
I'm sorry, but this is just a lazy man's answer. If the Earth were truly flat, the competitive nature of the private industry would have them knowing first. Especially the communication industry, which is always looking for the most effective and efficient way of transmitting data over long distances. Don't you think that if the Earth were flat, they'd be the first ones to take advantage of it and break the silence? But for some reason, everyone in the communications industry still operates as if they're limited by the dimensions of a spherical Earth. Mark Sargent, you're an idiot.
This is
And why that would be bad? Because
What the fuck was that noise, Mark?
So every single pilots are involved in this.
No,
They
not
don't
at
know?
all.
They don't
No. Pilots, scientists, none of those people. I have astrophysicist Brian Cox. None of them have anything to do with it.
But at the same time, scientists are smart enough to know that the Earth is not flat. For instance, if a scientist designed an experiment that relied on the downward acceleration of gravity, then the absence of gravity would give the scientist unexpected results, and the scientist would know. So why do you think that we don't see thousands of scientists rushing to journals to prove that gravity doesn't exist? Well, that's simple. Because gravity exists. The Earth's not flat, and all flat earthers are fucking idiots.
I mean, it's no different. Look, generals know the battle plans, but most of the officers below them
Were the Apollo, those massive Apollo?
we've been to the moon, right?
Were they?
What's up with Mark Sargent making all these weird noises? First it was... then it was... Sounds to me like somebody's getting a bit nervous. Maybe it's because a woman other than his mother is sitting close to him, or maybe he realizes that he's getting dangerously close to being exposed as the flat earth idiot con man that he really is.
Those Apollo rockets that went up into the air, did they go?
They didn't go anywhere. They just went off into the ocean and ditched. That was, again, I'm an American.
Please don't remind us.
Look, we're taught, rah, rah, go team, wave the flag. And so it's tough for me because I love the American space program.
No, you don't. You don't love the American space program. You dickweeds talk shit about NASA every chance you get. You say that space doesn't exist. How can you love the space program? You are an idiot.
We're saying that we live on a flat, enclosed world that is basically, you're basically living in a big soundstage with walls and a floor and a ceiling.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. Yeah, very, very, very similar.
Really? The Truman Show? Well, if that's the case, then there are several questions that need to be answered. Like, who operates this massive stage? Where do the enormous amounts of resources that would be needed for a global production of this size come from? Who built this stage, and on what foundation does this movie set rest on? And if any one of your answers predicates on the existence of a supernatural being with smelly sandal feet, then you are the idiot.
That it's so big that even our best and brightest didn't figure it out until about 1960. And when they did, decide to keep it a secret.
I love when conspiratards like Mark Sargent say that there's evidence out there, but just everybody's keeping it a secret. Like no one's ever divulged this paradigm-changing secret to any family member or on their deathbed. And our best and brightest scientists, well, they know. They just don't think it's worth studying or telling anyone else about. And yeah, you're probably thinking the same thing that I am. Sounds like bullshit. And if there's one thing that my mama taught me, it was that if it looks like bullshit, and sounds like bullshit, and smells like bullshit, it's probably a flat earth idiot.
The really, really short version is you don't live on a globe. This is what it looks like on the outside. That's what it looks like on the inside. There you go.
No, the short version is that you and all the other short bus flat earthers are a bunch of fucking idiots. Neither one of those models comports to reality, and neither one of those models could give us any predictive power whatsoever regarding anything.
So why don't we just fall off the edge?
For the same reason, the space asteroid question.
You got that one backwards, Mark. The space asteroid is the globe Earth. The snow globe pizza wonderland for idiots? That's the flat Earth.
Yeah. So for the same reason why you don't fall off the edge here. Antarctica is the only continent that doesn't look like anything else. All the other continents in here look perfectly fine.
On a globe, Antarctica looks just as normal as any other continent. It's only on the flat Earth model that Antarctica looks all jacked up like that. Now, there is a question that all flat earthers need to answer. When cartographers first mapped out the Antarctic coastline, they measured it to be about 17,000 kilometers long. On a flat Earth map, the Antarctic coastline would need to be at least 70,000 kilometers long. So, flat earthers, where's the missing 53,000 kilometers? Exactly, Mark. The Earth's not flat, and you're an idiot.
Yep.
So where's the North Pole?
North Pole's in the center. North Pole's in the center, South Pole doesn't exist.
Well, if the South Pole doesn't exist, then somebody needs to go down to the South Pole Observatory and tell all the scientists they're freezing their ass off for nothing. And why is it then that any and all observers in the southern hemisphere can look due south and see a rotation point in the sky? Also, why is the angular elevation of that rotation point dependent upon the observer's latitude? Both are strong indicators that the Earth is spherical and rotates, and both 100% exclude the possibility that the Earth is flat. Sorry, flat earthers, but the Earth's not flat, and you guys are idiots.
Most people don't talk about that. The Antarctic Treaty says that no corporation in the history of the world can set up shop down there forever.
The Antarctic Treaty is designed for environmental preservation and the logistical and scientific coordination between politically competing countries. It ensures two things. One, that we don't fuck up the last remaining untouched environment on Earth, and two, that we don't militarize it. If flat Earth idiots are going to continue to bring up the Antarctic Treaty, then they should really go back to school and learn how to read first.
What's outside?
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, because it
you
could
have
be
no clue.
Well, I mean, if you can't get outside, you're not going to know for sure. But I mean, I don't think, my personal opinion is this isn't a one-off. There's not just one of these, there's more.
Well, it's too bad you don't have any evidence to support those claims, Mark. And it astounds me as to how much fantasy these flat earth dipshits will accept, all while denying reality around them. I mean, ask Mark Sargent about these additional pond Earths that nobody's ever seen before, and he'll tell you they probably exist. But show him the thousands of pictures of the actual Earth taken from space, and he's 100% convinced that all those are fake. Well, Mark, you got me 100% convinced that you're an idiot.
Amongst your flat earthers, you argue amongst yourselves as well.
Like the
And
Scottish
actually,
Highlands we argue.
you have been accused yourself as being sort of a member, I think, of Warner Brothers or something. You're making this up.
Government agent, yeah.
So,
Don't worry, Mark. Nobody believes what flat earth idiots say anyways. And don't you think that if the government was going to send somebody to corrupt the flat earthers from the inside, they'd have sent somebody more competent than the adult version of Porky Pig?
I mean, aren't you just all turning on yourselves? Like, you can't believe anything.
No.
Ever.
It's
not even your own.
At the end of the day, again, like the Scottish Highlands, no offense, but they can all agree on one thing: they hate the English. That's the same sort of thing here. We disagree on so many of the finer points here, but at the end of the day, we all agree on one thing: that is not a globe.
Yeah, it is kind of hilarious. While you fucking idiots are arguing over whose model doesn't fit reality the least, us Globers are all sitting back, relaxing, spending time with our family, and enjoying our good-paying full-time jobs.
And you can absolutely, you can hammer on the globe. Everybody starts out hating flat Earth, and everybody tears down the globe themselves. That's why we have a 99% retention rate.
Well, unless there's 78 million flat Earth idiots, which, thank God there's not, the globe Earth still has a higher retention rate.
What proof do you have? No one has ever been there. No one has ever taken any pictures of the ice wall that surrounds us.
Exactly.
So no one can get anywhere near. Why can't we go there? Why can't I?
Oh, the Antarctic Treaty. And you can go there if you want to spend, I think it's like 12,000 pounds. You can go to the edge, one of the peninsulas, and get your picture taken with penguins.
With all his TV appearances and his appearance on the Netflix docu-comedy Behind the Curve, combined with the financial freedom that comes with living with your mother into your mid-40s, you would think that Mark Sargent would have saved up enough money by now to buy himself a ticket to go to Antarctica and prove once and for all that there is in fact a militarized penguin army guarding the ice wall. I guess he'd rather save thousands of dollars than waste that money destroying his own beliefs.
No, I want to see the wall. Well, I know.
Well, I mean, the wall itself just extends for a long. You can get to the Antarctic coastline. That's not a problem.
Yeah. I want to go to the wall.
Well, you're going to go all the way in here. No, the Antarctic Treaty forbids it. You cannot go there. It's locked down. It's the only unbroken treaty in the history of treaty.
Not only is this wrong, as there have been several unbroken treaties in our history, it's not even the oldest one. The treaty between England and Portugal still stands as the longest unbroken treaty between countries. I still don't understand why flat earthers just spit out demonstrably false facts as if they know them to be true. Never mind. I just remembered, the flat earth audience is full of gullible morons, which happens to be a prerequisite for becoming a full-fledged flat earth idiot.
To your proof questions, I know we don't have a whole lot of time left. Sorry, let me give you the 5 bullet points that I gave Georgetown physicist, and he folded like a card table almost immediately. I put this challenge up to Brian Cox, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, any of these guys.
Oh, this is going to be great. It's not every day that you get to hear what inspired a man to become a window licker.
First one would be long distance photography. Curvature of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared. We eventually should not be able to see over the hill. We should be a hill. It should be gone. HD technology has changed that. Now we can see things way, way further. Some wonderful work being done by Nathan Oakley and some UK teams where they're actually seeing a horizon behind oil platforms at 10, 15, 20 miles.
We've already covered the Black Swan observation. Those observations only prove 2 things. One, that refraction actually exists and can cause objects to look closer than or further from the horizon depending upon atmospheric conditions. And 2, that flat earth idiots have no idea what refraction is or how it actually works.
Gravity versus the vacuum of space. Gravity's holding things down, right? That's gravity, no problem, right? You make the upper part of this a vacuum chamber, you pull a cork, everything's gonna rush upstairs. Well, why, when you go outside, why isn't the air outside rushing into space? You can't, the atmosphere. Why doesn't it go into space? Can't say gravity anymore because gravity didn't hold the air in this room for that little test.
Well, if you had a container that was tall enough, then you wouldn't necessarily have any atmosphere at the top of it, and you can test this for yourself. Just take a deflated balloon, put it over a plastic bottle, and drive up a mountain. One thing you'll notice is that as you increase in elevation, you decrease in atmospheric pressure and density. And if you continued to go up, there would be a point at which there was simply no atmosphere at all. What's next, Mark?
Third, the moon eclipse is too small. The moon eclipse is 70 miles wide, and the moon is 2,000 miles wide. We never see that in nature. The moon eclipse we say the moon is about 70 miles wide.
Oh my goodness, you're such an idiot. What do you mean we don't see this in nature? Due to the sun being larger than the earth, we literally see this everywhere in nature. Anytime a shadow is cast by an object that's smaller than the light source, there's going to be an umbra and penumbra that is smaller and larger than the object casting the shadow respectively.
Fourth would be the moon temperature. That's a spooky one. I didn't even know that till about two years in, which is the moon generates a cold light.
No, it doesn't, you idiot. Due to the well-understood physics of light, we know that light doesn't cool things down. Not to mention that anytime a cold moonlight experiment is done under controlled conditions, the results always suggest that moonlight has no cooling effect whatsoever.
Which is warmer in the moon shade than it is in the moonlight.
Radiative cooling and convection heating are a thing and are absolutely responsible for heating up the shaded areas at night, but we have yet to reach maximum stupid.
If you magnify moonlight, it gets even colder. It's generating a cold laser light. It doesn't even make sense.
You went full retard, man.
Well, there you go, boys and girls. Mark Sargent has officially gone full retard.
Never go full retard.
The moonlight is a cold laser light, and with the magnifying glass, you can intensify its effect. No, that is not how it works at all. The moon does not give off a cold light, let alone does it give off a cooling laser light, and flat earthers are a bunch of dumbass idiots.
And the last question, which is the Van Allen radiation trap question, which is, are the Van Allen radiation belts deadly? Yes or no?
The Van Allen radiation belts have nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. And if those 5 points are your best pieces of evidence for the flat Earth, then I'm more convinced today than I was yesterday that the shape of the Earth is a globe and that flat earthers are a bunch of fucking idiots. Alright guys, I think that's going to be where we end the video today. If you found this video interesting, then give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now, I do want to say thank you to Mark Sargent, who did actually take time out of his day to give me an interview at the Flat Earth International Conference in Dallas. I'll post the link in the description if you'd like to watch the full uncut interview. And finally, a massive shout out to all of my channel members and patrons whose support helps me keep doing what I love to do, calling out idiots on the internet. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.
But when that role is reversed, you only get anger and hatred from the woman, and that's why you have so many problems.
Okay, that's plenty to work with. That's plenty to work with.
Well, let's give him just a few more seconds. I promise we'll come back to you, Dave.
Today.
Okay, let's give
Few
Dave
more
about
seconds,
3 minutes
buddy.
to be sure he can try to address as many.
No,
questions.
I don't need 3 minutes. I just need to cut off like the river of bullshit to get to a point. You know. So first of all, the idea that you would say women have no love to give is insane. Maternity, motherhood, women represent love, so that's ridiculous. Number two,
where do women get love from?
Hang on.
Where do they get the love from?
I think we'll
this
give
is going to
maybe just-
go into what
just
you're
a minute
asking.
or so.
This is going to go into what you're asking. You said whether we like it or not, Christ, man, women, blah, blah, blah. You said whether we like it or not. No, not whether we like it or not. That's your religion, and I don't like it, and I don't follow it, and I don't buy it. And secular society doesn't need to buy it because women don't want to be subservient to men, nor should be treated equally. So I don't really care what you think about your God and Jesus and all of these other things that you're saying. That doesn't affect me. And our country isn't run that way or structured that way, nor should it be. We have separation of church and state. So your beliefs, as entitled to them as you are, do not affect me or the larger structure of society.
So Dave, this love that you claim women have, where do they get it from?
From themselves. Why does it have to be external? What are you talking about?
Where do they get it from, Dave, and how do they get it from themselves?
Inside of their brains. Inside of their brains. That's where emotions happen, in here. Did you know that?
So they have love in the brain?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, you should study some neuropsychology. Do you know about neurotransmitters?
Women don't have love,
oxytocin.
Dave, women don't have love.
Okay, you want to back that up with something? Do you want to get into science? I don't think
love
that you do, though.
The love comes from the husband to the wife, and from the wife to the children.
What about a woman that has no husband and has children? Can a woman love her child without a husband?
I'm sorry?
Can a woman love her child without a husband?
Only if she loves her father.
Can a woman without a father or a husband love a child?
Only if they have overcome their anger.
Can a woman that has no anger and has no father and has no husband love a child?
If she has no anger, that means she loves what's right, and that love will come down to her as well. But if she has anger, if she has anger, she has no love. It's impossible.
Well, that's pretty dumb because you can be angry and love somebody. So that is a literally meaningless statement.
That's
a meaningless statement.
Dave,
you can't like be angry, like you can't like have a kid and love your kid, and somebody punches you on the street and you're like, oh, I'm angry at that person. Whoops, we get angry anymore. It's a really dumb thing to say. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Dave, we're not talking about self-defense. We're talking about family.
Okay.
There is no love. It comes from the man. And if the woman is not getting it from the man, she's very angry and out of control.
Do I really need to repeat those questions I asked you before?
And Dave, and to make herself feel better, she tried to make the world rotate around her, control the men, control the children, and everybody goes nuts.
You're implying that a single woman cannot love her child.
I'm sorry?
The logical ramification of what you're saying is that a single woman cannot love her child, and that's dumb. It's a dumb thing to say. Women love their children.
No, they don't.
Inherently, innately, instinctually, in their brains.
That phony love, that emotional love that you think that women have, that they do have, come from anger. It doesn't come from love. It comes from anger. That's not real love. That's why it's so destructive.
If you want to, I don't really feel like entering your fantasy land. If that's where you want to be, you be there. But I'm going to be in reality where women love their children innately. That's a fact. So I don't know what to tell you.
Why do the children end up so screwed up?
Which children? All children end up screwed up?
They end up mentally ill, emotionally destroyed. Men become subject to the women, and the women destroy them. The kids grow up with the same anger that their mothers have. And
Which children are you talking about?
They end up on drugs and alcohol and sex before marriage, and men end up living with women, and the women control them and destroy them. And
Can I
then,
clarify? You're saying that all children are addicted to drugs and all of this. What are you?
not all, but most. But let me ask you this.
Most children are addicted to drugs. That's what you're saying. Do I even need to ask you for a citation? Everybody listening knows that you're being ridiculous.
Children who become adults, most of them are addicted to drugs.
Children that become
in
adults,
one form
you
or
mean
another, whether legal medication or illegal drugs. One of the way they are. But let me ask you this, Dave. If mothers have love, why is it that when their children become adults, they'll follow their children to West Hell and try and control them? Why don't they let the kids go if they have love?
So, who are you talking about?
Mothers who you say have love, right? Once their kids
Who are those?
adults, once their kids become adult, why do they follow their kids around and try to control them?
I mean,
kids,
like,
rather than
are you
letting
talking
them
about it? Are you talking about a movie you saw, or like a book you read, or like I just don't know what the hell you're talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Which women? Who are they?
Are you
who,
living
who
in
are you
Beverly
talking
Hills,
about?
California? Where do you live, Dave?
I live in North Hollywood, California. Yeah.
Oh, I rest my case.
What case? You don't have a case?
I rest my
What
case. Beta.
What case?
Beta male.
Jesse, you just said that that mothers follow their children around, right? Who are you talking about? Be specific. Name them. List them. Give me a source. Who are you talking about that's not a figment of your imagination?
All these mothers that you claim to have love, they follow their grown adult children around. They get involved with their kids' marriages. They try to tell the adults. They're not kids anymore. They're adults. But the mothers try to control them. Is that love, Dave?
So today, every mother on earth is following their adult child.
Not all,
every mother.
Not all, but most, Dave.
So who? But most. Where are they? Where can I find these mothers? Where do they live?
Where's
What are they
your mother
doing?
right now, Dave?
My mother lives in Connecticut.
Thank God, huh? No wonder you live in West Hollywood.
Yeah. Why do I live in North Hollywood?
I said,
Because
no wonder
this is
you
where
live
I
in
live.
West Hollywood.
I live in North Hollywood.
Oh.
What's your implication there?
Oh, none.
Are you going to turn into a homophobe on me here?
No,
what are you doing there?
No implication. Just
No implication. Just lying about where you live to make a non-existent point. So actually, this is great. I'm glad you brought up my mom because my mom lives 3 time zones away, and she is not over here
May I
ever.
give
So
an example?
why isn't my mom doing that? Did you just say that
believe
all
me.
women with adult children are following their children
believe
around?
me, you
So where's my
report
mom?
to Mama. She may not be living in North Hollywood with you, but Mama.
No, not really.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I don't really know what to tell you.
What do you mean
Oh
not
yeah,
really?
you know my life better than I do, don't you?
Yeah, because you're a beta male. You're addicted to Mama.
What's that? What's beta? What's that?
You don't know, you never heard of a beta male?
Nah, what is that?
Have you heard of the fallen Messiah?
Nah, what, Jesus?
No, Barack Obama.
I know who Barack Obama is, yes. So anyone who has heard of Barack Obama is a beta male?
Oh, have you heard of
So
his...
all people are beta males?
Have you heard of his Big Mama wife?
Big Mama?
Yeah, Michelle.
I know who Michelle Obama is, yes.
Would you marry Michelle? Be honest.
Would I marry her? Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm already married, so that poses a problem.
Let's say you were not married. You're walking down the road. You look for a wife. Michelle came up. Would you marry her?
Well, how old is she? She's a bit older than I am.
I rest my case. Big Mama.
So a beta is anyone who would not marry Michelle Obama? Or is it anyone who would marry Michelle Obama?
You saw how Big Mama controlled Barack Obama while in the White House. Barack Obama went around the country bowing down to our enemies and apologizing for America being so great. And
Yeah, bowing down to our enemies while doing record level drone strikes.
He was
You have
kissing-
no clue what you're talking about.
He was kissing boots.
I don't know much about politics, but
he
you
said-
know way less. I don't think
said-
we need to be talking about this.
He said that Big Mama Michelle was his boss. She knows she's the boss. He allowed Big Mama to run over him. He's a beta male. And any man that Obama has anger, and you and I will agree that any man who has anger is a woman.
No, we will not agree on that.
But at least one more thing, Dave. Come on now.
Any man that has anger is a woman?
Right, because if you notice men who have anger, they get angry, they go off, they're insecure, they have doubt, they have fear, they have worry. They have the mindset of a woman which came from their mother. And so
there's so many ways we can go with this. Number one, males are more aggressive, slightly more aggressive biologically. So to attribute women with anger is just ridiculous. Number two, isn't your God like a pretty wrathful God? Like, you believe in God, right?
Absolutely.
You believe in the God of the Old Testament, right?
Absolutely.
Yahweh. So doesn't he like regularly kill everyone and stuff?
I'm sorry?
And like give them plagues? Doesn't your God like kill everybody and start again and send people to hell and give them plagues and just like kill people all the time? Don't you think that's pretty wrathful, angry behavior? Is your God a beta? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think that's angry behavior. That's what love
You don't think wrath and killing everybody in fire is anger? You don't think that that's anger? What is anger? What is anger?
When did he kill them in fire?
Have you read the Bible?
No, I'm asking you, when did he do it?
All like Sodom and Gomorrah and stuff, and like big fireballs, and then like in Egypt with the plagues and the locusts and killing the firstborn. He killed all the firstborn. I mean, he kills a ton, and he's a really angry, nasty God. So God is a beta. Wouldn't you agree?
What made you think that was wrong for him to do that?
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't believe that any of it happened, so I don't really care. But I'm saying that it's
you don't believe that it happened.
Definitely not believe that
Why
it
are you
happened.
complaining
You
about?
do, so I'm asking you.
Why are you complaining about something that you don't believe happened?
Because I'm analyzing your belief system. You're saying that men who are angry are women, and your God that you believe in is pretty angry.
What does
so
that
you believe in a beta?
Let's go back to any man that has anger is a woman. It's not natural.
We haven't left it. We're still here.
It's not natural, Dave, for a man to have anger.
It's pretty natural, actually. Emotions are pretty natural.
The natural state of a man is logic, is love, and he guides his family in the right way to go. Any man that has anger has not overcome his mother, so he has the mindset of his and emotions of his mother, because you become like what you hate. And most men, if not all, most men resent their mothers, and in return they resent all women. And they can't get away from it until they forgive the mother, so their mind can be renewed. Because every woman they get involved with is their mother until they overcome their mother. They got to forgive the mothers for what the mother has done to them, turn them away from their fathers. And when you turn a boy or girl away from his father, you recreate them in your image.
I get it. So at this point, it would be very futile for me to continue to ask you for data to support anything you're saying, because I know you're making it up off the top of your head. So let's think about why you're making it up off the top of your head. What is your relationship with your parents? I would like to know about that personally.